Danfo offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshe traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danfo, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danfo, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danfo, Africa. To learn more, visit danfo.africa.
Peace, family. We are live again. Donnie Samir, Search for Uhuru. Thank you all. Thanks so much for joining. Hit that like button, and please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. Just real quick, I want to thank you all. I want to thank all of you for the support over the years. It means a lot. If you're new, don't be a stranger. Join the family. Join the In Search of Uhuru family. I would love to have you all and host you all and all that good stuff. So again, please hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Got a couple of announcements. Announcement number one: we are rolling to Cape Town, March 25th through April 2nd. March 25th through April 2nd. We are rolling to Cape Town for the Cape Town International Jazz Festival. We are then rolling to Senegal in May 9th through the 18th for the Oshun Festival. For the Oshun Festival. I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself. We're rolling to Senegal in May for the St. Louis Jazz Festival in Senegal. And that's March 9th through the 18th. Then we're going to Nigeria in August 2nd to the 11th for the Oshun Festival. Zanzibar in September for Safari Blue. That's September 20th to 29th. And then we're ending the year off with Ghana and Ivory Coast. That is going to be in November. If you're interested in joining, please visit Danfo. That's DANFO.Africa. Again, please visit Danfo. That's DANFO.Africa to learn more. We will love to have you. That's the site right there, you all. That's the front page. Make sure you go and go check us out. Go check us out. Sign up for the list, the mailing list, and I promise you're gonna get a call back from me. I mean, some people get surprised when I actually call back, but no. You are going to get a call back from me. Without further ado, let's jump into today's topic. I found this on hold on, let me blow this up real quick. Can I go to full screen on this? Yeah, okay. I found this on Twitter, on X the other day. Let me send this real quick. Let me share the screen. And no, let me just play it. Then we'll get into it.
Nyerere was being, like Nkrumah had been previously, was being idolized in the black world. And just like there had been these American black expats who had gone to Ghana, you had these black expats living living in Tanzania, and I just found them very funny actually, because they were living in this country, but they hadn't learned the language.
I struggle with that myself.
When I got off the plane and ran into them, and I just thought it was very revealing, the questions they asked me. How are the Green Bay Packers doing?
The Packers suck. That's how they do it. Hey,
that I learned.
I can answer that. The Packers suck. Outside of the year they had Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre, but for the most part, the Packers suck. So I could have answered that question. But I see, and just to give more context, this guy, he went to Tanzania. There were expats there. And like he said, like a lot of us, I'm just as guilty. We don't learn the local language, so it's hard for us to really, really, truly integrate. And then there are a lot of Western luxuries that some of us still want access to. I'll give you an example. I don't know why. Again, I don't know why. Whenever I'm in Nigeria and I go to Lagos, I gotta eat Cold Stone. I don't know why. Like, I don't eat Cold Stone here in America, but damn it, I'll eat the Cold Stone in Nigeria, which is interesting, very interesting. But this brother brought up how they were asking how the Green Bay Packers are doing. So I'm guessing this is, I don't know, they don't have, this is well before internet. I guess this was shot. But this guy was interviewed. I wonder what year this was. But let me start from the beginning.
You know, Nyerere was being, like Nkrumah had been previously, was being idolized in the black world.
Oh, let me back up. Okay, it was he said Nyerere. So Nyerere was in office. He was president of Tanzania from, let's see here, 1964 to 1985. Okay, yeah. So I'm guessing they didn't have access to finding out or making a phone call on how the Green Bay Packers is doing. Yeah, so it makes sense. So when Julius Nyerere was in office,
and just like there had been these American black expats who had gone to Ghana, you had these black expats living in Tanzania, and I just found them very funny actually, because they were living in this country, but they hadn't learned the language. And then when I got off the plane and ran into them, and I just thought it was very revealing, the questions they asked me. How are the Green Bay Packers doing?
They suck.
Which was another important lesson that I learned, which was reinforced when after I went to Cuba. You may rail against this country.
Mm-hmm.
You may call it all kinds of names, but you have no idea how it has crept into your mind. What are you used to? You go in, it's dark in a room, and you turn on the lights. But what happens when you're somewhere where there is no electricity? Or you're going to...
Right, so... And I used to be that, America's going to fail, America's going to fall. But why would I want that? You know, we complain about the United States of America. We rail on it. We talk bad about it. But the USA is still one of the greatest countries on earth. The USA is the only country where a brother like me can strive and succeed. One of the few where you have the opportunity to do great and do well. We have infrastructure. We have social safety nets that a lot of times get abused and exploited. But the United States of America, even with this turbulent past, is still one of the greatest countries ever. And trust me, I used to be on the America's gonna fall, America is falling, America's, this, that, and other. But I'm like, why would I want that when I live here? I want America to succeed. Now we are indirectly complicit via our tax dollars with some of the, I would say, Team America World Police activities that go on. But America is still one of the greatest countries ever, United States of America, where even though everything that we've been through as Black people, we still have opportunity to be successful. All right, if you have the will, if you work hard, you could become and do anything, everything you want here in the United States of America. Yeah, I said it. Is America perfect? Absolutely not. Let's continue.
take a shower and you must in your shower and water being pumped from the sea, or there are no. I was well going to visit my grandparents in Georgia. I was used to outhouses, so that wasn't that wasn't. But still, you gain more appreciation of the extent to which you may have disagreements with a particular society, but how it has affected you in ways that are beyond your kin, and that you then have to come to terms with. You then have to come to terms with the degree to which you have been socialized by the forces that you are railing against. So that was an important lesson for me in Dar.
All right, guys. Links in the chat room if you want to call in and add to the conversation. You're more than welcome to call in and add to the conversation. Again, link is in the chat room if you want to call in and add to the conversation. You're more than welcome to call in and add to the conversation. Would love to hear from you all. Love to hear your input. How's everyone doing today? Again, how's everyone doing today? But again, guys, links in the chat room if you want to call in and add to the convo. You're more than welcome to call in and add to the convo. We're gonna watch this again. This is a good piece.
You know, Nyerere was being like Nkrumah had been previously, was being idolized in the black world, and just like there had been these American black expats who had gone to Ghana, you had these black expats living in Tanzania, and I just found them very funny actually because they were living in this country but they hadn't learned the language. And then when I got off the plane and ran into them, and I just thought it was very revealing the questions they asked me. How were the Green Bay Packers doing? At Kettering, which was another important lesson that I learned, which was reinforced when after I went to Cuba. You may rail against this country, you may call it all kinds of names, but you have no idea how it has crept into your mind. How what are you used to? You go in, it's dark in a room, and you turn on the lights. But what happens when you're somewhere where there is no electricity, or you're going to take a shower and you must in your shower and water being pumped from the sea, or there are no. I was well going to visit my grandparents in Georgia. I was used to outhouses, so that wasn't that wasn't. But still, you gain more appreciation of the extent to which you may have disagreements with a particular society, but how it has affected you in ways that are beyond your kin, and that you then have to come to terms with. You then have to come to terms with the degree to which you have been socialized by the forces that you are railing against. So that was an important lesson for me in Dar.
Dar's a beautiful country. Tanzania is a beautiful country. I actually go to Zanzibar in September. But this is a common thread. This is a common as well. For some reason, all the socialist African leaders or socialist period get get idolized by the black community. I don't know why. Don't get me wrong. Kwame Nkrumah and Julius Nyerere were great men, but there was just a lot of corruption that was going on while they were in office. And I don't know why socialism and communism and Marxism, I don't know why they attract just shady ass leaders. All right, Angola, go ahead.
First of all, good afternoon.
Pete,
Uh, Thank you for the platform.
no problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to categorically disagree. The United States of America has taken far more from our specific demographic than what it has given. Um, the economy was built upon our labor. Then the subsequent disenfranchisement, and now what? Since I guess you could say from 65 on, we've had some semblance of independence, but even from that time, there was still oppression. So the access to a standard of living that we are quote unquote afforded within this country, we have more than earned. And I'm not going to give this country per se credit for it. I think we could have done better on our own, left to our own devices if we were left unfettered. Um, if we talking about exchange of technology on West Africa, yeah, we weren't as, I would say, technologically advanced as some other places. But again, if with the exchange of technology left to our own devices, we would be exponentially in better position, especially culturally from a social dynamic. Socially, our people are destroyed. We are confused. We don't know who we are. We Hebrew Israelites one day, we Muslims the next day, we're Scientologists the next day. Our family structure is horrible, and even from the semblance of our self confidence and our self actualization, we have become domesticated. In my opinion, we have become akin to domesticated animals. We can't think outside of the realm and confines of European, Eurasian mindset. So to me, that far outweighs any benefits that we gain from an intrinsic level. Majority of people are going to think from a pragmatic standpoint how they benefit directly, because a lot of our people don't really put in perspective what our ancestors actually had to endure and actually had to go through, and how that affects us today. It's easy for us to come on the internet now and uh, praise the quote unquote country, but again, it's taken far more than it's given, especially from our perspective directly. And that goes for people in the Caribbean as well, with their relationship with the United Kingdom and people that were colonized by France as well, even on the continent with their colonial relationships.
Mm. What do you think? Oh, let me, it's Castronova. Go ahead, Castronova, mute yourself.
Peace to everybody on the panel. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we hear you.
Hey, I would agree with that brother what he just said with the analogy of domesticated animals. Only I would say that humans are indeed animals. So yeah, we are domesticated. Many of us, well, most of us can't think outside of that herd mindset, and that plagues us. Yeah, I would agree with everything he just said, man.
Okay. So Angola, what the brother just said on the who was being interviewed, you don't, as far as what specifically that you do you disagree with him with?
I think because I didn't get to see what he just said in entirety, but
Well, no,
I hear this.
let me play it again. I'll play it again real quick. Let me play it
Okay.
again.
Thanks, Darnus.
You know, Nyerere was being, like Nkrumah had been previously, was being idolized in the black world. And just like there had been these American black expats who had gone to Ghana, you had these black expats living in Tanzania. And I just found them very funny, actually, because they were living in this country, but they hadn't learned the language. And then when I got off the plane and ran into them, and I just thought it was very revealing, the questions they asked me. How were the Green Bay Packers doing? At Cataract, which was another important lesson that I learned, which was reinforced when after I went to Cuba. You may rail against this country. You may call it all kinds of names, but you have no idea how it has crept into your mind. What are you used to? You go in, it's dark in a room, and you turn on the lights. But what happens when you're somewhere where there is no electricity? Or you're going to take a shower, and in your shower and water being pumped from the sea, or there are no. I was going to visit my grandparents in Georgia, I was used to outhouses, so that wasn't that wasn't. But still, you gain more appreciation of the extent to which you may have disagreements with a particular society, but how it has affected you in ways that are beyond your kin, and that you then have to come to terms with. You then have to come to terms with the degree to which you have been socialized by the forces that you are railing against. So that was an important lesson for me in Dar.
Based upon what he stated, I think the dynamics that he articulated were accurate in terms of how the United States system socializes Americans, for like in terms of infrastructure and just American exceptionalism in itself. But what I disagree with is him prioritizing and putting on a pedestal the standard of living. Okay, so you're going to a different environment, and yes, the standard of living is lower, but the opportunities that entail with you going back to the continent to where you actually came from, genetically, lineage wise, the opportunity that you have to build is going to be far more rewarding than living off in the comforts of somebody else's infrastructure that they built off the backs of your people. Especially from a masculine and male standpoint, to me, it's extremely effeminate for a man to be comfortable their entire life, being okay with living off another man's infrastructure that they built off the backs of your ancestors while they're directly trying to disenfranchise you contemporarily. So I'll let somebody else speak though.
Go ahead, Johnny.
All right, appreciate it, Donnie. Thanks for having me on, man.
Oh, no problem.
So I do agree with what Dude was saying that you had speaking. Yeah, man. The least you can do when visiting somewhere, I think it is to try to be immersed in the culture, which obviously, largely includes learning the language. I can speak a little bit, but I'm not perfect. I can understand and have basic conversations. So, I learned that prior to my visits to the continent, though. It's in our hands way more than ever before. Information, that people would have killed for during the early waves of Pan-Africanism. So I think that it's kind of it's negligent to not capitalize on those opportunities that we have. I think that when I do go, well, let me start with this. When I do go abroad, I do notice that a lot of the people from America and stuff are not really mixing too much with locals, and they don't really study the language. A lot of other people have worse Swahili than me, where I have to literally translate, what these people are trying to say sometimes, and they live there. I was like, man, for me, I couldn't imagine doing that, but it works for them, I guess. That's as far as the people, though. I think sometimes we do kind of like to complain about the systems and things that we have here in the United States, because we do come from a place of comfort, and in a lot of cases, privilege. No matter how you want to look at it, it's privilege. Like you were saying, man, some of our stories that we have would not be possible in other parts of the world. Just as simple as it, mattering where we were born in. If with my situation, without going into too much details and stuff, if I was born in a somewhere in an African country, I probably, most likely would not be, anywhere near where I am today, in a lot of different levels. So yeah, we kind of get used to the standard of living here. We would like to see that improve in other places. We want to be involved in the building of that for a lot of us. But I thought that in order to do that, you would have to kind of immerse with the people. But some people are just kind of fed up, and they do want to leave because of that. And there's a non-negligible size of the population of repats that are just kind of fed up with how the system and things are going. And they hate America, and they hate it enough to where they would want to go over there. And they make hateful videos and stuff. And usually those people end up having to come back. They hate it so much, but they realize how good they have it compared to other situations. And a lot of times they do end up coming back, closing their YouTube channels and stuff like that. It happens too often. So, I mean, if you want to come from a place from sincerity and not necessarily a place of hate, if you want to accomplish something. So, yeah, I think it's just important to take that in mind. Our ancestors, in a lot of cases, heritage Americans, did put a lot of building into this, and it wasn't just for nothing. We owe gratitude to a lot of them, and I think in some degree, a lot of diaspora kind of owe that to the people who were here before us in the United States as well. So I mean, it's important to compartmentalize that, and not just something you brush aside. And I'll just leave it at that.
Let me read the super chat. Some or none other T3K. Thank you for $2 holla. Skillless people can't build. Some black men are mentally women. All right, thank you, our
Hello?
feminist sister. All right, go ahead, Sandman. 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 All right, Sandman, call back in. All right, guys, links in the chat room. Link is in the chat room. If you want to call in after the conversation, you're more than welcome to call in after the convo. All right, go ahead, Sandman.
Hey, can you hear me now?
You're kind of
Your connection.
Your connection's kind of your mic is kind of acting up. Try and talk again.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think it comes to a point where it's a tough pill to swallow, but sometimes we gotta take that L. You know what I mean? We lost, you know what I'm saying? It was a deal struck in between, the Europeans and the Africans that were engaged in the slave trade. They sold us for umbrellas and liquor and mirrors and and the white man was more than happy to strike that deal because it was something valuable, like the labor of Africans for something something cheap. I look at it the same way. If I was to go to a third world country and they're sitting on top of millions of pounds of gold, and one of the locals said that he likes the way my hat looks and he wants my hat for 100 pounds of gold, am I going to not take the gold and say no? I don't that I'm taking advantage of you. No, I'm gonna just take his gold because he doesn't know the value of it. So maybe we and and come all the way down to the situation that we're in now. It took more than one generation to get in this situation. It's going to take a lot longer. It's going to take more than one generation to get out of it. It was a long line of mistakes that we made. We got to be smarter about things. You know what I'm saying? Invest our money. You know what I mean? We do, like Dinah said, this is, the most powerful country in the world or whatever. And if you're smart about the way that you invest your money, if smart about the way that you do business, if stick together with your families, then you can build an empire, and you might not be able to see the fruits of all your labor, but your children and your grandchildren will. So, we gotta think ahead for ourselves, you know what I mean? Learn to make better investments and get back in touch with the homeland, in Africa, you know what I'm saying? Because maybe that'll help bring up our moral and our pride and our self-worth by being in touch with, where we come from. But no, we can't look back and say, hey, cry for spilled milk. No, we got beat, we got robbed. It's like that. You took an L. Take that L, you know what I'm saying? Get back up. You know what I mean? We still here. There's a billion of us. We still here. We took we fell off a little bit. Now we could just come back up, you know what I'm saying? And I yield with the fool with that.
All right, let me pass the mic to Buff Travels. Go ahead, Buff Travels, and meet yourself. Buff Travels, and meet yourself.
Yes, hello everyone. I think anyway, greetings. First time here. I'm a big fan of your channel, so I'm honored. All I will say is it's very important if you do go to Africa from the diaspora, you have to find a way to blend in. And you have to of course, get familiar with the culture, and try to speak the language. It's very, very important. There's no point in being in Africa if you can't if you can't try to, let's say, camouflage or to understand the people you're going to be with, especially, you're sharing the same color, or, you look, Africans in the diaspora, you come to Africa, you look like an African no matter what, unless maybe you have some European blood in you or something like that, but still, you have to find a way to blend in. And also, we need to stop. There's a lot of Africans in the diaspora, when they go to Africa, they still want the Western perks. They still want the advantages, or I don't know, it's like an entitlement thing, which has to stop. Because if you want to look at Africa as long term, you have to look at the good, bad, and the ugly. Because the reason why I'm saying that, if you look at the Lebanese people, I'm originally from Ghana, but I've been lucky. I've been traveling throughout West Africa. I was just in Sierra Leone, but I noticed when I was in Sierra Leone, the Lebanese people are very strong over there. You understand me? And you find that the Lebanese people, if they have to behave or act like an African, they can do it. You find Lebanese people speaking Creole. You go to Ghana, they speak in Tree, they speak in Ghana, they speak in Fanti if they have to, because with these Lebanese people, sorry if I'm going off topic, but with these Lebanese people, they move on survival. And the reason why they move on survival is because they know that Africa is heaven. They don't want to leave Africa. They're reaping all the benefits in Africa, especially West Africa. But when I was in Syria, especially, I just noticed that the Africans in the diaspora, they just want to come home and, fantasize Africa and just party. And, it's interesting because the Africans in diaspora can't party in the West or live their best life in the West. But when they go Africa, they want to live their best life in Africa. Yes, I understand that, but we got to look at long term, But I'll leave it here for now and listen to everyone else. So, yeah. All right. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, Em. Unmute yourself.
Thank you, sir. I want to make a couple of comments. I wish I would have caught your opening monologue so I could comment on that, but I heard one brother talk about how we don't know who we are, we Moors, Hebrew Israelites, and I want to comment on what the last brother just said, how he's praising Lebanese, but at the same time denigrating black people from the diaspora who want to party, whatever they want to do. We got the right to do that. But why is it that you want to just praise a colonizer or a person of a different ethnicity from Lebanon, but you don't see a problem with denigrating blacks? But what I want to talk about the other guy, when he was saying that we don't know who we are, we're lost, and America has taken so much from us, I think we need to really speak highly of our people, especially the people from America, because we were really at a net gain. If you talk about how we was basically stripped from nothing, in the Bible they talk about we was grinded to a fine powder, and we was able to come out of that and still have something. Anything plus is a gain, and I think people should celebrate that more. Speak more positive about us, or even tell people in their countries how good we treat them, instead of coming back saying, "Oh, they want to party." I mean, everybody in the world want to party, but I want to comment on the topic that I read on the video, how somebody's laughing at Pan-Africans from moving to Africa. I think that's pretty absurd, because particularly as black men, it's women too that go back to Africa. We go back for different reasons, but us as black men since the 1960s, we have been under like a constant barrage of attack. We just came from a victory when we got civil rights, we got all of these acts passed, but it seems as though we wanted reinforcements from Africa to help us build on the victory. But these reinforcements, not just from Africa, but India, Asia, South America, it seems as though they came to defend and strengthen the white man. And it seems as though the white man was able to regroup within the last 60 years by way of these people who came through the Immigration Reform Act and affirmative action. And now we're at we're struggling because our women, black women from America, don't really speak highly of us. They don't see us in a high esteem. And also African women. Somebody told African women the same stereotypes, so a lot of them don't look at us in esteem. So the black men that's going to Africa, I think we're really looking to regroup for self-preservation purposes. And I think when we go to Africa, we probably should go looking for opportunities without Africans, unless the Africans want something to do with us. But a lot of Africans have a tribalist, like he said, we Moors and Israelites. You know, you got a lot of religious dynamics there too, and they bicker and argue just the same way. So that, I think that's human nature. But I think a lot of black men that go to Africa should go looking for opportunities to grow and to regroup. And also, if we want to have allies, we should have allies. We should look for sovereign autonomy. Even though we have Sierra Leone and Liberia, we should have something else that we establish that we can control solely without having to get permission from an African. That's what I want to say.
And you want to do that inside Africa?
Anywhere in Africa. Africa is a massive territory, and we have a right to Africa.
Have you ever been to Africa?
I have not been to Africa.
Okay.
But I think I have a right. Dinus, a couple of days ago, I conceded that, okay, we come from Africa. That means that I feel I have a right to land in Africa without having to be getting permission from a pre-established post-colonial country like a Ghana or Nigeria, like that was British territory. But I think we, just like the France and the Dutch was able to go to Africa with the Berlin Conference with King Leopold, I think we have the same right to Africa without needing permission. And we should have the right to self-determination there, because here we have Africans, black women from America, white people. Everybody got this constant barrage of stereotypes against us here. We're going extinct. The one thing I respect about the African women, they are loyal to their tribe, they're loyal to their men, and they reproduce. In America, black women abort our children at a massive rate. They denigrate us like we are literally going extinct here. And then a lot of us is in prison, disease. So I think Africa could be a way for us to regroup, or anywhere in the world outside of white supremacy, because we wanted the Africans to help us in our struggle for autonomy and independence. But when they came here, they came to help the white man. So we were actually suffering more now than we were in the 1960s. But I think we have a right to Africa, and we shouldn't have to go through a king or some president and ask him for citizenship. I think
I was saying the same thing, but that's just not the reality.
We have to make it the reality.
No, you're right. You're right. But let me pass the mic to Kala. Go ahead, Kala. Unmute yourself, Kala.
Well, after the last guy, I don't think I have anything to say. You know, I agree with him 100%. What his brother was just saying, he must be a College Nation listener. You know, bottom line is this: there's no relationship. If anybody tells you that we don't have a right to establish ourselves in Africa, sovereign like that, they're not a brother of ours. You don't believe in Africanism, you don't believe in, and you're a closet white supremacist. Because the only thing basically holding Africa, holding it back, is white people's claim to Africa. They still claim Africa. And Africans act as surrogates to maintain these borders that were set up by the white man, facilitated by the white man, and benefit the Europeans. There's no real nation states in Africa. So why hold on to these territories? You know, yeah, we need to reconfigure these territories and give people from the diaspora territory for Africa self-determination. That's what I feel about it. And also about this topic. The other brother before him was saying, we got too used to America. Let me tell you something, folks. You don't listen to nothing I say. Black people cannot say they built civilization. They had all this ancient civilization thousands of years ago. We had running water and all stuff like that. But yet, when we say, okay, we go to Africa, oh no, you gotta get rid of toilets. No, you gotta get rid of running water. Oh no. Refrigeration out of the question. You know, healthcare, oh man, just forget about it. You know. Why is it that Africa can't give the basics, the essential, the basics? If Africa was to provide the basics for its people and people coming there, millions of black people from the West would go there. The basics, the basics: running water, electricity, you know, paved roads, railways, transportation, communication, education, healthcare, basic healthcare. If you give people the basics, they're satisfied. They'll build on the other stuff that they want after that. But everybody wants to go to Africa. They want to build a big giant house, and they don't have no roads, no infrastructure, or anything. That's what makes it like a laughable. Get the basics down pat. Everybody that go to Africa is saying, look, forget about building a big house. Let's build a pattern of roads. Let's finance the roads. Let's do what we got to do to volunteer. If we got to get out there ourselves and clear fields and build roads and whatnot, and work with the local governments to make this happen. That we're going to live in a modern society. A modern society doesn't mean Western. We got to stop that nonsense, because when you say that, you're saying that the black race is inferior. Asia, South America, Dinus, has given the people the basics. Dinus, South America, they got no natural resources. Countries like Bolivia and all these people can give everybody electricity, running water, and all the basics. I'm saying in Africa, electricity, he got electricity. That's like a luxury. No, it should be everybody should have a requirement as electricity on the grid. Running water, hot water, heating water, all the basic things. That should be it. We should not be arguing about that, as a deal breaker, because that should be provided. But I pass the mic.
All right, go ahead, CD.
Hey, Donis.
Beef.
Yeah. So, I think if the African Americans want to wait for everything to be perfect in Africa, I think it's going to be late for
I said
them.
the basics, bro.
Yeah, Carlos, I understand what you're saying. I'm not opposing what you're saying, but
Hey, yo, look,
yeah,
you guys spent, hold up, your last president of Ghana, I mean to interrupt you, spent all the money. I watched him go out there, Nana Adu, flying over around the world on jets. You know how much it costs every time he gets on that jet? $700,000. And people in this country don't have basic school supplies. We're going over there as African Americans, spending our money opening schools for these people. Enough is enough.
And
yeah, I'm not.
people
I'm.
not
I'm.
in Ghana, Paula.
I'm not Ghanaian. Luckily for me, I'm not Ghanaian.
I'll
But
answer to that.
But yeah,
so
that could be any country in Africa,
yeah. So
Museveni spent like a $2 million hosting a Commonwealth thing where people get eaten by crocodiles in a fucking river. Come on,
yeah, Carlos, I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying people, living in America. I would take mine for example, right? I came from Liberia and Civil War destroyed everything. So my first visit, when my dad passed away, so I went and then decided that I'm not going to go back to Africa again. Then COVID came 2019, and then my job went remotely 100%. So that gave me opportunity to travel around. My first visit was in Cote d'Ivoire, Abidjan, because my sister, she's married there. And that was a game change for me, right? From that on, I started working remotely, investing in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, and went to Guinea Conakry, and I understand French, but I don't speak French, but I speak Mandingo anyway. That gave me a little bit of flexibility to traveling in West Africa. That was a big change for me. I don't think if I spend almost 80% of my time right now in Africa, and I go to a lot of remote places. So if you say that people should wait until everything develop, it's going to be late for African Americans.
I think
When
he
I went to
means we
Liberia,
need.
I traveled all the way
Hold on.
to. Let me
African
I
finish.
think
Americans
he
are
means.
first world
I
people,
think he
bro.
means we should do the infrastructure. He's
I'm
not
not
talking
saying.
about waiting on the infrastructure.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
have a
I'm.
mentality of building.
This is yeah.
Nobody's
My
waiting.
reason of saying that people will say, oh, this first when you say and tell them to go to
No,
Africa, they will say,
the
is there
average
any drink
African
you?
American, first of all, African
Hey,
Americans
y'all
Let
are
me
niggas
Hey,
not
yeah,
stop
finish.
yeah,
racist.
yeah,
interrupting him.
yeah.
He
No,
hasn't
no.
got to finish.
Let City finish. Go ahead,
Oh
City.
my God, let me finish. So I'm not saying that people should go and build infrastructure. That's not your responsibility. But Carl, you've been to Ganta, right? Ganta probably is one of the crowded city right now in Liberia, right? So when I went to Ganta before, it used to be the Lebanese. Now I've seen the Indians coming. They have cool storage selling fish. I've seen Chinese, living in a remote part of Ivory Coast, Guinea, and they
Yeah, these are
succeeding.
third world people, man.
Well, I mean, no matter what, they came from a place where system works, right? They have a good infrastructure, things work for them, especially for the
Have you
Chinese,
seen rural India, bro?
right?
Worse than Liberia.
What's that?
Rural India has less than you guys got.
We have less
They have
Indian?
rural India. The number one thing in rural India, even though it's open defecation.
Okay, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That I'm not
So,
saying that
yo,
African
Miriam,
Americans should go to
West
build to
Africa's not
build.
going to come up.
I'm
West
not saying
Africa
they
will
should
come up
go.
to them. You can't compare them to us.
Cause you gotta adjust. Each time when you travel, you go to certain places. Even back in the days, we used to see the Peace Corps from the US. They will go and live in a remote part of Africa, right? And they will help people with it in terms of education, agriculture. So you have to make your hand dirty to penetrate the system. But if you say, well, there's no running water, there's need, it's going to be get late. It's going to get late before people. I have seen white American living in a remote part of Africa,
Yep.
millionaire. He got a good money, and there's no electricity, and he's surviving. He making his money. So waiting to see, well, the infrastructure has to be better. You have to get a good water running system before you invest. It's going to get late, and people doing it. And for me, I know there are Africans that come here. When they come, it's very hard for them. But for me, COVID was a big game change for me. I started going, and I spent almost 85% of my time in Africa. It was in 2024 when I was in Abidjan for African Cup of Nations. I left from Abidjan. I came to Nairobi. Nairobi was my first time in East Africa, and I know since then it been a game change for me. So
Let
I'm
me ask
not.
you a question.
Yes.
No, don't interrupt him, brother. Let it get on so we can all
Yeah,
make our
because we got other people on the panel. City, you got 30 seconds. I got to pass the mic.
Yeah, so yeah, he get a question from me. Just let me answer his question.
Well, no. I want to pass the mic. We could circle back and he can ask. Go ahead, City. You got 30 seconds.
Okay, so my reason of saying that you can't say that all these 54 countries should have infrastructure before you move. You have to choose a place where you think the system works. Botswana works, Namibia is there, Kenya is there. It doesn't have to be West Africa alone. You got to go to a place where you think that this system works. Then you can penetrate the system. For now, remain there.
Okay.
Go ahead, Louis.
Yeah. All right, Dan, it's a very good subject there. Listen, the mind of a coon is a fascinating one because if you plug into it, you're not careful, you're going to get sucked in from the pond into the ocean of the racist white man. Okay? Coons are the biggest Achilles heels of the black man. You find one person who want to get free, there will be 10 Negroes who have no interest. 6 of them want to kill you. When independence was declared from the 1950s, Kwame Nkrumah didn't stand there looking at what happened in Liberia and told you it was going to be easy. Okay? As a kid growing up in the 1970s, I was walking barefoot to school, so were 90% of the people. Kwame Nkrumah, up until a certain age, walked barefoot to school. My uncle became one of the richest families in Africa right now. Here's a picture of him at the age of 16 wearing barefoot. We literally just came out of the Guyana Santua wars against the English. The airport that we are calling Kotoka Airport, everybody's raving about today. Back then, it was an old British military parachute jumping place. Today, now look at it.
Let us stop looking at where we haven't got to yet and start putting off our people by making excuses. Okay? True freedom is the ability for you to determine what your future is going to be like. There wasn't a single paved road in Ghana when the British left. Not one. But we look at what they've got today and the advantages they got, and we forget what they've done to us, where we've been through, and we start putting ourselves down. I used to walk to Supong in my mom's village to fetch water every morning. If you didn't do that, you get some lick on your back. Today, we got pumping water everywhere. I'm building a mansion in that same village, a mansion I could never afford in England or America, and it's going to have running water and everything. When I started, there was no electricity running through. By the time I got to the rooftop, electricity running through. Let us not be harsh on ourselves. We're making a hell of a lot of progress. A hell of a lot of progress. And if you can't go back to Africa now, you was never supposed to go back to Africa. Because we remember at a time when there was no electricity. Until Kwame Nkrumah built the water dam, no electricity. So what the hell are we talking about? There is a lot of progress in Africa. So do not let us walk 10 foot backwards because of what some coon wants to say. Death to the coon. They always want to hold you back. We can't go back. We can only go forward. Okay? And Africa will progress if we make it progress. Now, for the brothers and sisters who already joined us, we know the struggle that's happening there in the West. Because some of us come here in the West, and it's hard for us to go back. Okay? But the new generation, there's a new spirit. It's like a corn being rotten. You put it in the ground and new corn comes up. So as the coons rise, new warriors are going to rise up. And we have to feed those. Forget the negative. Feed those. Look forward. Africa is rising, is moving forward. Once you live in the village, you see someone running water, you're going to want that running water. That's what's happening in Africa. It started with the independent movement, and it's going forward, and it's going forward, and it's going forward. Those who don't want to join us, stay in the West and be a slave to the white man, even if you got more money. You may have the cash, as brother Steve Wonder said, but you cannot cash in your face in this damn Western world. So you want to be a coon? Be a coon. I'd rather be free doing slow farming with my sickle in a village any day than freezing in this cold, bloody winter. So to hell with the coon. Forward ever, backwards never. And I'll rest my case.
All right, go ahead, Kofi. And then let me ask your question to CD.
You gotta rise. You gotta rise up. Rise up. What up, everyone? Yeah. I believe the guy kind of the guy came to Ghana, went to Tanzania, and he didn't really do his research, right? He could have gone to Ghana and he could have visited all the big diaspora community that's there. He could have contacted Craig with Rabbi Cohen, and he could have went into Tanzania, and he could have located Pete O'Neill, of ex-Black Panther, well, former Black Panther, who has a huge hospital facility in Tanzania. And to like pick at little stuff like, oh, you don't know the language. Well, the majority of the expats that live there are 50 and older. Their brains really can't pick up language that fast. And each country has about 4 to 8 different ethnic groups. They're trying to communicate with each other, and they definitely have to speak English. So you're just not going to grasp something that even the local people haven't grasped from each other. It's just not natural, right? When I went to Ghana, they had their apps, they had their language apps, and that's the best you can do, right? Speaking of Liberia had a head start on other different countries, right? They were formed in 1847. If there was this much slavery that people speak of, right? The Black expats or the Black Americans enslaved the indigenous people. If there was this much slavery, how come the infrastructure is subpar? There was 200 years. Let's say there was 200 years of grinding slavery. Build this, build that, build this, industrialize that. All that would have been slavery. Then Liberia would be the equivalent to what the United States is today. But because the indigenous people were left to live sovereign inside their counties, that wasn't explored until President Tubman wanted to reach out to all those other counties and bring them more into government. Until the early 40s, everyone had the freedom to practice their traditional heritage. And that's like letting Black people practice hip hop heritage all day, right? We have to adapt, and we have to adapt to what the modern world is doing. Another thing, right? Another stereotype about the local people: the local people are just like Americans. They're just like Americans. They may speak two languages, but they're just like Americans. Sometimes even worse. They're just as capitalist as any American. So I don't see us going there and being a big influence on them. If anything, it's the other way around. You're gonna learn their behaviors, and you're gonna do as the Romans do in Rome. And that's all I have to say for now.
All right, Amiga asked City your question.
All right, thank you. Also, after that, can I respond to the guy that said "death to the coons"?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, my question was, do you think, or do you want Black Americans to improve the infrastructure in Africa?
Oh, was that to me, brother?
No, the guy who I want to ask the question to earlier.
Oh, okay. I said
I'm not saying the Black Americans to improve the infrastructure. What I'm saying is that
Do you want it?
When people no, I'm not saying they should improve the infrastructure. What I'm saying is that, let's say, for example, right, if Africans see pressure coming from African American, they're traveling, they want to invest, they question things, they're bringing a different mentality. What Carla say, yeah, it's a corruption mentality in a lot of African countries. But when they started having some sort of influence on the community, like going to the villages, talking to people, they're explaining issues, and they're showing out corruption that is there. The government will get that pressure to develop the infrastructure. Individual African Americans do not have money to build African infrastructure. These are capital intensive projects, right? But by showing face, by coming with different mentality, by questioning things. Why is it that this village do not have running water? Why this guy is the governor of this city? What is he doing with the money? Questioning things, figuring out things, telling them what to do. That will put more pressure on that local government, and it will go up to the presidential level, and and people will figure out how to face system.
Hold
People
on.
have
I
to
ask you a
have some sort of
simple
mentality
question.
to change people.
Hold on.
Right.
Simple question. Let me give you a compare and contrast. Do you want Russia to build a nuclear power plant, or do you want China to build roads? Like, do you want that?
We don't care who
I
builds
don't
it.
want that.
You don't want anybody to
want
come
that.
in and build anything. Who's gonna do it?
No, I'm not saying I don't want anybody
Africans
to
are
come
building,
and
brother.
build things.
Africans are
What
building.
I'm saying, it's not a matter of building things. It's a matter of how they fund the project, right? There where Africa is financing into trouble, right? For example, the
It's a yes or no
Chinese,
question. Yes or no. Do you want us over there or not? Because
I want
when we
African
come over
Americans
there,
to be
that's what
over
we
there.
do. When we go places, we build things, we improve things. That's what we do. That's in
No,
our nature, to build and improve infrastructure. We're not finna go over there and
I
have
don't
no
know about
running
that.
water.
I don't know much about. I
You
don't know.
ain't finna
That's
have no
not what we're
black man
talking
go
about right
nowhere
now.
if they ain't got no running water. We're gonna have to build some plumbing and some infrastructure. But it's a yes or no question.
I don't know. I don't know
Who
much
built
about that to
Liberia?
say individual African American building infrastructure. I'm not a
We
word
did
of
build
that.
infrastructure in
But
Who
what I
We
Liberia.
did that build
what,
who
infrastructure.
built
Was it
what I
Liberia?
Raleigh
do
Dollars?
know,
We built Liberia. We built like
no,
20
what I
small
do
towns.
know, Liberia situation
Yes
was
or
very
no?
unfortunate. I wish Tobo would remain in power because it's the
Listen,
same
yes,
CIA.
yes,
Let me
yes or
finish.
no.
Yes on who, no on what?
Do you want Black Americans to build the infrastructure in Africa or Liberia or whatever? Do you want it? Yes or no?
They were building the infrastructure already when the CIA came and disrupt everything and put the
It's a
native,
yes or no question. No
illiterate guy
or
into
yes.
power.
Just
brother,
answer the
brother,
question.
Brother,
brother.
he
I just said
essentially just
yes.
said yes when he answered that question when he
Yeah,
said
yeah,
they were
guys,
doing it
guys.
already.
We got a new person on the panel. Let me the man in the high castle. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Good evening. Good evening.
Oh my
Rise and
God, Karen,
shine,
be
proud
quiet, man.
Americans.
Hey, let him cook. Let him cook. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Good evening. Good evening. Rise and shine, brothers and sisters around the planet. Rise and shine, Earthlings. Wake up, proud Americans. It's the man in the high castle, and I've tuned in to search for Yuruhu television. Hit the like button and subscribe. One thing I can say tonight. One thing I can say tonight is that
it's Uhuru.
One thing I can say tonight is that people seem to be upset of what's going on. Do you know what the strongest currency there is in Africa right now? Can anybody on the panel just take a guess right now?
Probably the CD.
No, that's
No.
one of them, though. The strongest, number one.
CFA.
Wrong.
I would say CF. I would say CFA. I would say CFA.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
No. It's the Tunisian dollar or dinara.
The who?
Who?
The Tunisian.
Tanzania has shilling. They have shilling. They don't have
No,
shilling.
not Tanzania. Tunisia.
Tunisia.
Bro, yeah, that would be
money
making
is,
quote unquote Americans look
CFA
bad,
is
bro.
stronger than that. CFA
You
is
can't even
stronger than
pronounce the
that.
country.
So tell me, how is that possible?
Man, shut up, bro.
What are
How
they
you gonna
doing
denigrate
differently?
the whole American because of one person?
What are they doing differently?
Currencies go up and down all the time, my friend. That ain't nothing. That's no indicator.
That's not an indicator.
All the time, my brother.
Bro, let him get his thoughts out. Stop interrupting him.
You said the CD.
No,
now,
I
how
said
much is
CD.
now how much is a CD to a US dollar?
One USD to 11 CDs. I just sent money today.
Right. That's the last 3 days I take it.
So is that pretty good so far?
No, we had it at $6 one time.
I've seen it at $4.
Well, there you go. So the currencies don't really mean much.
So tell me.
For a couple of gold in
So
there,
tell me what's happening with the CD. Since you were talking so good about Ghana.
I tell you why it goes up and down. It's according to how much gold you got or whatever you got back in your currency. That's all it is. We're spending money building our roads. So when we do a big road project, like some of the ones we're doing now, and the ones that are about to come between Accra and Kumasi, it requires a certain amount of £billion set aside so we can do the project uninterrupted. When we do that, it depletes our national the amount we got in a bank. Okay, that means we got to take gold, convert it into dollars, and then start the project to guarantee the all the people doing the road work that they're gonna get paid. Okay, that means our currency goes down until we build it up again, and that's how it's gonna be until we put the roof on the house.
If I hear one more person in the live chat say North Africa, just say Africa. Cut that bullshit out. You'll never
If the
win.
United States didn't steal Maduro,
So-
we would be in trouble. The US dollar would fall. If we didn't
Hey,
steal that man, it'll be a wrap.
The United States doesn't need Africa. Africa needs the world.
He wasn't stolen. He was detained.
But-
Let him get his thought out so he can
Let's
stop
talk about
talking.
the economics, the dollar. Everybody knows that there's fine women all throughout the planet Earth. Let's talk about this damn money. What's going on in Africa with the damn money?
The money goes up and down all the time. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about
Hey, Dinus,
like you.
can I respond to the guy that said death to the coons?
Yeah, that's me.
The coons is the one who had money out that
You
way.
are the coon. Coon
I
are
want to
sent by the
respond
white
to
man
that.
to interrupt and truncate our progress. Even on the YouTube. You're lucky
But
that
can I
is letting you
can I
up here.
respond to that, Mr.
Because I
Host?
love my roots, because I love my history,
You're a
because I
coon.
love my motherland, the United States of
No,
America.
you're a coon. You're here to stop us going to Africa. And guess what? You can't stop it, bruh.
I
2026.
want y'all to go to Africa. I want y'all to go back to Africa and never come back.
Good. Then pay reparation to black people. Tell your white master that, you bastard, so we can go back quicker.
Hey, whoa! I didn't say nothing. Now you're shooting at me.
At the end of the day,
I don't have no
you can
problem
leave
with
you can
being
leave him
here,
a voicemail.
as long as you
Hey,
do
hey,
good
go
business.
run to the white man and tell that.
Say, father, daddy, white man.
Yeah, go and do
Please
that.
help
Hold
you.
on, bro.
That's what
Do
you
you
can
not
say.
realize that in responding to him, you're offending me?
This is like not,
And I don't have no problem with you being in America.
Man, you cry too much. You empathetic.
this
Everybody
is not
shits
constructive
on you, man.
conversation.
Hey,
You're not even
hold on.
American.
Hold
You're
on,
not
M.
American, Will.
Hold on, man. Hold on, man. High Castle. M, go ahead and ask your question, M. You respond
Okay,
to,
now you say death to the coons, and you just said after 1 out of every 10, something about there's always going to be a coon that come around to stop. Like I have several comments about this. Why would you be so quick to just dehumanize a black person and reduce them to coon for one, and then another? Hold on, let me finish it. Then I ain't gonna say nothing. And another thing, you talked about how you walk with no shoes on to get water, and you had no shoes on,
Yep,
and then
I
Kwame
created
Nkrumah.
mine. I
Okay,
created
now,
mine.
now, did you know that Booker T. Washington, when he was a slave, had to walk around naked until he was free, just with a shirt on, and he was able to build Tuskegee Institute, and then you say something about forget the West, right? The West, F y'all. But didn't Kwame Nkrumah have to come to the West in order to improve Africa? You say Kwame Nkrumah was the one who was responsible for electricity and things. When the British left, there was no paved roads. So he was instrumental into the infrastructure. But first he had to come to us. So how you gonna say death to coons? Like,
What does
why
that
would you
got to
even
do with what he's
call us
talking
a
about,
coon?
man? Y'all try to turn this
How
into
did
something it
Kwame
don't
get
gotta
how
be,
did
bro.
Nkrumah
Y'all
get the
destroy these
That's
money?
what he said
conversations.
How
earlier.
did
He said that
Nkrumah get the
Destroy these
money?
conversations, man.
How did
Man,
Nkrumah
I
get the
mean, I
money
don't
to
know what the
study at
guy said
Lincoln
that is wrong.
University?
Let me sort him out. Let me sort
Yo,
him out.
Black Americans
How
are
did
just the
how did
coons? Is
Nkrumah
that
get
where
the
it's
money
from?
to study at Lincoln
I asked a
University
question.
and get his
Let me answer him.
his graduates?
Let me answer him. He asked a question. Let me answer him.
Who
Okay.
paid him to get his way
Who
to the
came
United
here first? Did the
States?
white man come to the black man, or the black man go to the white man?
Did you sell us to the white man?
Did the black man go to the white man?
Kwame Nkrumah was
Africa to Europe, or
CIA.
the European come to the black man in
You know
Africa?
What are you
Mister,
talking
I
about?
don't waste your time. I don't know why they should going after you. You give your point, bro. This is not about attacking this guy. He didn't say
I'm
anything
saying
wrong.
the point I'm trying to make
No,
is
just
we
make
should
your
stop.
point. What is your
We should
what
stop.
is your opinion on what the topic is about? Instead of you
They
The point
want
going
to
I'm trying to
after
turn
make
this
us.
is
into some American
listen.
exceptionalism conversation. They do
No,
it every
no.
time. He didn't say
The point
nothing
I'm
to
trying.
no
That's
source,
way up
slighted
in
no
this.
Americans. He said coons. He didn't say African coons. He didn't say American coons. He didn't
He
say
didn't
Haitian
say
coons or
coon to
Jamaican coons.
American. He didn't say coon to
He
anybody. He
just
was
said
just using his
coons,
word.
man.
Come
What I'm
on,
saying
stop.
is when he talked about the white man who had like he's he's rich white man in the middle of nowhere doing good. You don't objectify him to just a slur. You didn't call him cracker.
No, he
But when
did
it
not
comes to
say
black
coon
people,
to
y'all quick
anybody.
to call us all
No, what
types
are
of
you
names like
talking
we ain't
about?
worthy of no type of humanity. We just
No, he did
coons
not
and
say coon
whatever.
to
No,
anybody.
what
He
are
did
you
not say
talking
African
about?
American. Nobody.
When
He
y'all
didn't
talk
say
about
coon
that
to anybody.
Lebanese,
to
He
tuck them
gets
in
to
at
be
night,
respected
pinch
as a
his
human
nipples.
being.
Nah. It was a general statement. He made a statement to everybody, not African American,
So he's talking about the
African.
white man as a
That's how
coon.
you
The
guys divide
Lebanese,
people. Don't
Bro,
do that,
he's saying
bro.
he's
the
talking
No.
about people that
Lebanese,
are going against the interests of the people.
Yeah,
He's
that's
not.
what he
the
said.
He wasn't
Lebanese,
But
praising no.
what
It
what is
wasn't no
the
the
slight
Lebanese you're
towards no
talking about,
Lebanese.
but
What he's saying
what is
is
the
That's why I say the
the
listen?
first thing
What
you
Lebanese
is
you're
have
the
to do
talking
is
about,
derogatory
define
term
what a
for white
coon
man?
the
is.
Lebanese you're talking about does not
What is
complain
the
about Africa not having
derogatory
running water. He
terminology
sees
that you
potential.
use to
But you
describe
it's
say
white
not
people?
the
Africa is not
same
running
thing
water.
though. That's
That's
what
the
that's
difference. Okay, the
First of
Lebanese
all,
goes there. He doesn't
everything
ask
that
for the
he
place to be
said,
like America
everything that
before
he
he
said
goes there.
was
He
speaking
goes there.
against white
You're
men.
waiting for the place to be
fact.
like America.
So,
That's the problem. The Lebanese don't complain about that. Lebanese been
exactly.
there since
You're
independence, even
defending the
before
Lebanese,
independence.
but
So
you're
you want
talking
to
down about
expire
us,
before you can go
and we the
because
one
you're
who
a
gave
coon.
Kwame
You don't
Nkrumah
want
his
to work
education.
hard. You just want to hand out from the white man. Those of us who want to work hard, don't put us off from going. Stay in America if you want to. We're going too.
Yeah.
You
So
don't
What
mind
what
us.
let's
what
get
is
it.
y'all's purpose in engaging in these conversations? Every time,
Exactly. I don't
literally
understand.
every
Make sure that
conversation,
we
They
y'all
got no
turn this
start
money.
into
They
being
broke.
what the
like
We
Americans
can
have
Look,
study the
look
done.
at them. They
Lebanese.
broke.
I
the
get my
I
Lebanese
don't
don't
education in
die.
understand.
America. Did I get it
Respecting each
free?
other. You
The
I
gotta
didn't get my
Lebanese don't
respect each
education
die.
in
other.
America free. Nothing is free here.
And
Kwame Nkrumah came here,
nobody
he
on
paid
this.
for
Well,
it.
I can't speak for everybody, but coons need to be castigated regardless, whether you call it
Yeah.
dehumanization or not. They need to
What do you
be
call a
out. They need
Pan
to be
Are
taken
African?
out
you
the
a
way.
coon?
What
Problem
they
is we
Are
don't
doing?
have
y'all
a
the ones?
definition
Are
of what a
Africans
What's
coon
the
coons?
is.
difference between a Pan
Are
African and a
Africans
coon?
coons?
A,
Are
a
Africans
lot.
Of
coons?
course.
Yes.
You
A
want
The
me
lot
to
of
ones who
our
come
answer
people are
that?
here,
coons.
I'll answer
the ones
that.
who come here and talk about they're doing better than us and they're
Now you
Akakas
see,
and
this is why you've been
don't talk.
trying to say
Is
all
that
Some are
along.
coon?
You
coons.
are very
So
divisive guy, man. You are very
yeah, that's what,
The
bro.
divisive.
That's,
difference
This
between
guy did
Pan
not say
y'all
anything.
y'all
Africans,
deter these
Pan
conversations, bro.
Africans
Y'all's presence.
Come
are
on.
You
invested
just
in the
derail them every
betterment
time,
of
bro.
black
Y'all
people
bring
as a
nothing of
whole.
any
Y'all
substance.
gotta stop
Coons,
calling us these derogatory
coons,
names.
No,
For
no,
one,
he did
that's
not.
the
He
first
did
step.
not
Nobody
call.
just said specifically
Nobody said
y'all. That's what
anything
I'm
like
saying,
that.
bro. Y'all emotionalize and personalize
Don't
everything. He wasn't just
look.
talking about Americans. He's talking
Don't
about
call
black coons
nobody
in
a coon.
general.
but
He
bro,
just
you
Don't
said
gotta
Nah,
call
black
well, that's
people
nobody a
your
in
coon.
opinion.
general.
That's your
Don't
Everything
call
that he
opinion.
nobody a
said.
clarify
coon.
that.
Nah, nobody's
He
finna
and
adhere to
first
that,
of all,
man.
he did not
Those
even
are
praise a
coons.
white man. He
Listen.
spoke
Mention
against the
their
white
names.
people.
When
So
you just
I'm
generalize
not
and say
sure.
coons, you can just apply that to anybody. Oh, a black man, he's a coon.
No,
No,
but
you
he
Mention the
did not
can't.
person's
say
name.
No,
anything bad.
there's specific behaviors that you have to achieve
To
and
be a coon.
specific things that you have done that you're gonna get that label. Nobody's gonna stop
Which is
calling coons, man.
Fact, that's
It
true.
is what it
4
is.
million Africans in America right now could get that moniker. 4 million
Okay,
Africans right now
and they
could
would
be
That's
fit the
called
not
coons.
moniker,
true.
brother. They would fit the moniker. Nobody's gonna
But we
stop
don't
calling
call
them
them
that.
coons though. We don't
Yes,
call
we
them that. We
do.
don't
Yes,
denigrate
we
them.
do. Yes, we do. That's
I'm
how,
talking
bro. That's
about
how
us.
y'all don't interact with quote unquote real Pan
But
Africanists, bro.
man,
I don't
Wait,
listen,
understand.
the
Like,
man, this guy,
conversation
he's
is that
very, very
black Americans
divisive.
are coons?
Since
Is
he
that the
came, he been very,
conversation?
very
see, this is bro.
divisive.
No,
Shut
nobody
your ass
said
up.
that. He's making
Okay.
it that because that's his whole angle in the conversation is to make this
Exactly.
some dichotomy of black Americans versus everybody else with this American exceptionalism
It's
I
stuff.
ain't said
FBA
nothing about black
versus
Americans other
everybody.
than we was the ones who gave Kwame Nkrumah his education. That's it. We
Did he
That
don't
get
has
it
call them
nothing to
free?
do
All
with
coons.
your
nothing
friends
that
have
anybody
educated
said.
mistakes.
Did he
Y'all
get
gotta
it
Nobody
stop
free?
said nothing
denigrating
bad
each other.
in regards to
If y'all
quote
think the
unquote
guy
African
was a
Americans, man.
coon, say I.
Look. The guy said that white man in Ghana or wherever he is in the middle of
Y'all
nowhere,
don't even
he's
have an
doing good.
African dollar in
He
your
No,
pocket.
wasn't
he did
called
not
no
say
type
that.
of
He did not say
derogatory
that.
name.
No,
You
he
don't
did
call
not
the
say that.
Lebanese nothing dirty. You don't call the Chinese a dirty name. But when it comes to us, oh, you just give it a coon, nigga, this and that.
But you see,
Y'all
this,
just
you are
quick
very,
to
very
dog us
divisive.
out.
He did
They
not
Y'all
love
say
quick to
anything
call
spooning
us
like
these
that.
with
dirty
other
Nah,
names.
other
nah,
That point
nah,
is
They
not
love
that's
valid,
not
man.
spooning
true.
with the
Right.
European
Why
man.
is the Lebanese who's who's not even black able to go
They
to
love
Africa
spooning with the
before
Lebanese
running
man.
water,
They
before
let the
running water
Lebanese
and
man
see
twist their
potential and make
titties.
money. But you're
Fact, that's
And they
complaining
true.
booty clapping for the
about
Lebanese
You're
man.
wasting
Well,
pretty
why
They
come
booty
nobody's.
you
clapping for
go
the
down there,
Arab.
see potential, see money, and don't complain about lack of infrastructure and still make money? Why come they can do that? You ain't doing that. And then you complain on top of that. The
Complain
Indians
on
ain't complaining.
everything.
You
The
think
Lebanese ain't
you living
complaining.
good in Europe and America because you working for a sandcracker
Who
at the
said
liquor
I'm
store.
living good in
That's how
Europe?
you look at it.
Who
You
told you
think
I'm
you're
living
doing
good in Europe?
exceptionally well.
That's
Who told
and
you I'm
we
living good
fund
in
them
Europe?
same quote unquote
You
sandcrackers every
nobody
day.
because you let the Arab
We
As my
let them
brother,
thrive in our
as
neighborhood.
my
Mercedes
So
brother
Benz.
what do we?
African
It's the
You
American
same
think you're
always
stuff,
say,
something
bro.
now.
as my brother from
Yo,
American
bro, they
African
were dealing
American
with the
always say,
same levels
hit
of
dog holler.
oppression we were dealing with.
Okay? If
We
you're
cut
cool, then
deals
they
with the
apply to
white
you. If you're
man
not, then you ain't gonna worry about
Yeah,
that.
the way
fact.
I think
You
we
can
deserve more
The
respect
Pan
from
African
Africans.
is the biggest cook in the world.
everybody
He sit
respect
back and
African American.
he
Nobody
sit back
disrespecting
and let the
African
China
American.
man
That's
take
not
advantage
true.
of his
That's
woman.
not true. Ghana being very friendly with you guys. They open their door. They give you a citizenship, and you're still complain.
Complain about what? What I'm complaining about?
And when you
How
fail,
many
then you
half-breed
complain.
Now let me bounce
Chinamen
some
and
off my African
Ghanaians are
brothers,
out
right?
there?
Quick question to what fuels his argument and makes him make the claims he makes. Is it fair to say, right, that when it comes to the Africans we receive here in America, they aren't always good representations of the African community? I would even go further to say, you know, we get a lot of coons coming in.
Right.
And I'm saying they don't necessarily speak for the people of Africa, right?
Thank
But
you.
Then why are you
they're
booty
westernized.
clapping for them when you know that's the case?
I mean,
Brother,
I would say this.
if we being honest, bro, if we being 100% honest, regardless of country, nation, border, bro, majority of our people work against our interests. So they could be
Look, I
deemed as
would say this.
majority of black people are not working towards the interests of
Look.
black people collectively. It's just the case. So
Nah, you talking for
whatever
yourself.
population,
Pan-Africans are the
whatever
biggest people
demographic of
pleasers
population you look
in the
at, that's
world.
the case.
And I'm gonna
Hey,
keep
I
it
would say
short.
this
They
though.
got
I would say this
all
though.
Agree
types
with
of
that
love
is
for
even
everybody else.
even in many cases where we are working against our best interests, a lot of black people aren't doing that necessarily knowingly. They're doing it to survive, right? There are some coons that are doing it to take advantage. I agree.
Just
Right?
you.
We
Hold on.
know.
Let me say this though. Let me say this in
Real
response
quick.
to what the guy said.
Just let me
Go
land
ahead.
real quick. Let me land. Right? We know the what's the dude in the Supreme Court, right?
Clarence Thomas.
We know that Clarence Thomas exists. I'm sure the African brothers can talk about coons on the continent, right? We know
I
that
wouldn't
exists.
say I
But when you
wouldn't
say
really.
most blacks,
What
right? I gotta
Clarence
challenge.
Thomas is Malcolm X compared to those people in Africa. You see them in their parliaments wearing those white wigs.
That's
Clarence
insanity,
Thomas
brother.
would never.
I
Still to
never
this
saw
day,
Thomas
up in
Sankara
African
wear a
parliament,
wig.
they wearing white wigs.
He don't
never
need
saw
a white
Out,
wig.
man.
He got a
Lumumba
white
wear a
wife.
wig. I never saw
I'm talking
Patrice
about
Lumumba
them
wear a
people
wig.
in parliament in Africa. They wearing all types of white wigs. They
Clarence Thomas
all
don't
the
need a
time.
white
These
wig. He
feathers.
got a white wife.
Hey, let me
Hey,
respond to
some of y'all Africans
this
look
guy.
at that as
That's a fact.
success.
No, let's
That's a
get a word
fact.
in.
You look at that as
Okay?
success. Those are
In
goals
the
to y'all Africans
in the
over there.
airport,
Look,
in the
so let me
airport,
respond to this guy real quick.
Y'all wish you
in the
were
airport.
Clarence
So a white
Thomas.
wife is success? Is that what you
Listen,
were
in
saying,
the
brother?
airport, if you go
That's
to
how
Ghana
those Africans look at it.
International Airport, if you
That's
go to
how those
Ghana
Caribbeans
International
look at it.
Airport,
They
if you
think
go to
that's
Ghana
success.
That's
International
how them
Airport,
Americans look at
it's
it.
a man
Nah, we
called
definitely
Kotoka.
don't.
Nah.
Hey,
So I can speak for
can I respond to the
Caribbean
guy real quick?
Americans, right?
Just listen
No,
up
we
for a
don't.
minute. You jumping in
Can
and
I
out, just
respond to the guy
interrupting us.
real
No,
quick?
you can't, because
Go
you
ahead,
coons are
family.
interrupting us too much here. It's a
All right,
Pan-African
so
show, all right?
as
Okay, you
far
coons
as
are
far as
no,
hold on.
just
As far as
for a
the
sec. Let me
Africans
make a
that come
point,
to
because
America,
it's not a one-way conversation
Hold
here.
on, bro. Let
All right?
him
You're
respond
talking
real quick.
about
You got the
blacks who are
floor next.
educated, blacks wearing wigs.
Man, you
We know
open your
who,
mouth
this
too
guy's
much.
just
Here's
babbling.
10
we
bags of
know who
rice.
Let
our
him
coons are.
respond. You got the
Okay,
floor
and we
next,
call them
bro.
out. In Ghana, there's an international airport called Kotoka Airport. Okay, that was the bastard who overthrew Kwame Nkrumah and set up the first CIA-operated bloody coup against our first leader that we've never recovered from. Okay, it's only this week they voted in Parliament to have his name taken out,
And they got white wigs.
despite everybody agreeing outside of Africa that man should never be honored with an international airport, even ahead of our first leader whom we overthrew. Okay, despite that,
As an airport.
we had black people, okay, in Ghana arguing that we should keep that damn name.
Black
Okay,
Americans?
that's how deep the cooning goes.
You're
And
saying
we
black
know,
Americans?
No, he's talking
we
about
know,
people that are from Ghana,
thank
indigenous
you.
to Ghana.
We know, He's talking about cooning in general. According to South African ANC freedom fighter, okay, Steve Biko, he said the most powerful weapon in the hands
Yo,
of the
let him
enemy
die.
is the
Yo, let
mind
him
of
get the
the
brakes beat off of
oppressor.
him, Steve Biko.
Okay,
Well, then
all
Hold
you
on,
coons,
bro. Let's
the
have a
white man
genuine
has your
conversation.
mind. That's the
I
problem.
He's
get where
not
you're
here
The white
to.
man
That's
has
why I
your
don't know why he
mind.
comes on here, man. Like, what is your purpose of coming on? Everything you
I
do is
mean,
just derail
Bro,
the
y'all talking
conversation.
about stuff from the
Okay, so
1980s
what is
and
your purpose
70s, right?
what is your purpose of
Y'all let
contribution to the
Steve Biko
conversation?
die.
What is your
Y'all
end
let
game?
him
Why
be
do you
real
engage in
quick.
these conversations?
Can
What
I
is your
respond
I
real
purpose?
like
quick?
when the FBA brothers come over
because it is an
Hey, look, let me
opportunity.
respond to the guy
It
real
is an
quick,
It's
opportunity
not
to
no
One
because
minute.
no, these conversations derail every time to the same stuff,
Hold on.
regardless of the
Hold on. Let me
topic.
get.
I don't
Hold
disagree
on.
with you.
Let me get 1 minute to
45
talk
years
real
later,
quick.
who is the new Steve Biko?
I don't want you to go after Mr. I. He said coon in general. He didn't say African American. He didn't say African. He's making an example of
Man, I can't
African
say
coon
anything.
right now. So stop being divisive, guys. Stop doing that. He did not say African
Steve
American. He said
Biko was
coon.
ahead of his
He said
time, but y'all let him get
Ghanaian coon
the brakes beat
did
off
not
of
want
him.
it to
Y'all didn't
for that
avenge
name to
him.
be
You didn't
removed.
protect
He
him.
just said it.
You said
Where's
that
What if they said the
Steve
yesterday.
same thing
Biko?
You
about
said that
Malcolm, my
yesterday,
brother?
man.
Hold on. What if they said the same thing about Malcolm, that we did that
Hey,
to
can
him?
I say something? Can I say something real quick
Hold
without
on.
people just
2
talk?
seconds, bro.
Millions of people talking.
2
All right.
Well,
What I
seconds.
like
wanted
I
to say
said,
when
you
the
could
guy
say the same thing about Malcolm.
when the guys say that Africans come to America, I don't agree with them being coons because I don't
Let them.
encounter. I live in Chicago, right? We have like different types of Africans here. We have the
Right.
Senegalese. They
Right.
live right next to us, and they don't show their flag. You will never know they Senegalese unless you ask them. You got the Muslim Nigerians. They live right next to us. But it's some Africans like the Igbo or whatever. They go to the north side. They intentionally don't be around us. So we have like very pleasant, nice, respectful Africans who just you won't even know they Africans. And you got some that throw it in your face and say we sold you, like the Igbo or whoever said we y'all and we are. But I think we try to figure out what's going on. We ain't finna just call nobody no coon, like denigrate a person and just label them just to say they less than. But it seems as though when I listen to these conversations and I listen to
Man, I
the
wish
Africans,
a brother would.
Hold on, let him finish.
I'm saying what they do is they call a white person or an Arab by their nationality. But they'll denigrate each other in a second. You a coon, you a this. Like we don't even like. Do you see how dangerous that is when we start dehumanizing each other with our
But
language?
this the problem, bro.
It's
Yeah, but my brother,
behavior.
that
It's
doesn't
about
Hold
mean
on,
that
behavior,
hold on. Let me
man.
this guy
respond to
who's
You
the
speaking
brother,
to you
right?
confused,
right
bro.
now, he's
Here's
not
the
he's not
Get off
reality.
the
Nigerian.
panel, bro.
Whether
You
you're
He's
talking
confused.
about the
Ghanaian.
continent or whether you're talking about America, right? A coon's a coon, right?
Yeah,
A
Thank you.
sellout
facts.
is a
It's
sellout.
a white
The
man a
dude
coon.
that hold on, the dude that
No,
killed
he's a white
Thomas
man.
Sankora, right? I can't
They
remember
got
his
their
name
own
right now.
coons.
Coon, right? At the same time, Candace Owens, right? Like certain people in the
Coon.
black community, coon, right? So a coon's a coon. It
Intelligent.
don't
Yep,
matter whether it's from
Yeah.
the continent.
Intelligent coons are the dangerous coons.
exactly. Fact. So this guy is not saying. First of all, you saying that Nigerians. How do you know that they are Igbo? But even if they are Igbo, this
Because they
guy is
tell you.
Ghanaian. This guy is
They
Ghanaian.
tell
He's
you.
not Igbo.
Hey, bro,
So
with
I'm
the
talking about.
dreads,
he
with
I'm
the
just
just
saying,
locks.
like some Africans
Bro
will
with the
tell you they
locks.
Igbo and we sold you into slavery and this
but
and that. They'll tell you
but,
this.
but
Yeah,
no
he's a
matter
white
what,
man.
even if
I'm
from
He's
the
a
from
white
Ghanaian
man.
Chicago
people,
too,
you
bro.
will
My
find
best
certain people that are
one of my
very
main
bad.
homies is Igbo,
You
brother.
know, do you
Brother,
think
They'll
everybody
tell
gonna
you.
be nice to
Look.
you?
They'll tell you they not black. They'll tell you they
hey,
not
Bro,
Oh,
black.
that's anecdotal. That's
yeah,
anecdotal, brother. I don't
brother,
have
But
that
but
come on,
experience.
here's the
I'm
brother.
from
problem,
Come
Chicago.
right?
in.
But we
Hold
don't just
on.
call them coons
What
though.
what I'm
We don't
doing
just
in this
make
whole
names for them though.
If
conversation,
any
what
black
I'm doing in
person
this
that's
whole
that's bragging about
conversation
slavery
between
is a
black
coon, so you
people
should call them that.
is mirroring, right? So
But
you have black
how come they
Americans
don't
dealing with
got words
slavery.
for white people? The
I'm
ones
not
who
connected
put
to
them in
Africa, right?
colonialism, why don't they call them a derogatory word?
That's
Why don't they
our
call
term
white
though.
people these
You're
derogatory
not
words?
gonna usually hear no if you're not gonna hear
First of
no
all,
continental African that ain't been around people in the diaspora or really just African Americans calling
First
nobody
of all,
no coon, man.
that's our word.
That's
Coon
our
is our
term.
word.
What
correct.
about a kata?
I've
Bro, what are you?
never
That has nothing to do with
I've
that.
been
A
around
kata is
Africans
a
all
wild
my
cat,
life.
man.
I've
It don't
never
have
been
nothing to
Why are
called
you
do with
making
a
nothing.
excuses?
That's
kata.
not
Why are you
that's not
making
no
I've been
excuses?
term meaning no
called a
coon.
beach ass
Why
N
are
word,
you making
right? I don't
excuses?
want to get the
It's
tariff,
not
but
no excuse
I've been
because it,
called a
you
beach
that's a non
ass
sequitur. It's
Negro.
not the
Hold
same
on.
thing.
Hold on,
They
hold
A
on.
gotta
kata
learn
is
how to
not a
respect
kata is
us.
not the
Hold
African
on.
version of a
I'm
coon,
Hey,
from New
brother.
proud
York City,
Americans, you see
right?
how disturbed this panel
Hold on.
is?
I'm from New York
You
City,
gotta
right?
learn how
I've
to
been around
respect us
Africans
first.
all my
That's the
life.
first step.
I've never once been called an Akata. Now I've
Thank
been
you.
called a beach ass Negro, right? And I
What?
probably was acting like one at the time, right? But this whole claim that Africans are coming over here calling us a Tata, I gotta be honest. I've never seen it, right? And
It's
I've
made up
always
rubbish.
been in
It's
close
made up rubbish.
proximity with
Did they
Africans
tell you they not black?
in America.
Did they tell you
Yo,
they
brother.
sold you to slavery?
Okay, brother, can I tell you a little story?
That's
The
your
brother with the
anecdotal
locks.
experience, man.
Listen, let me speak to the brother with the locks just for 2 seconds, okay? The brother with the locks, listen to me. It's about 4 years ago. I'm going from Barking, which is East London, to South London. I get on a train. I meet a nice Nigerian brother. We start talking. And in a conversation, he said something I'll never forget.
Give us some
He
wings
said to
and
me,
some
yeah, but
sandwich.
I told him I'm from Ghana. And then he goes, oh, he looked at me and said, yeah, but Ghanaians are really black. Okay, this is a Nigerian brother. He looked at me and told me Ghanaians are really black. So I looked at him and I was shocked, stand. And I went to, well, we're the black stars for a reason. Okay, and if we Africans can't be black, who can be black? I couldn't believe that conversation. I was just flabbergasted right through the train ride. I think I even got off a train extra early just so I don't have to be in the same carriage as that guy. Okay, some of our people are messed up in their head.
Africans
So
love
give me
their
a
master.
second and let me talk to you, brother, right? Because you just made a valid point, right? Here's what I would tell you. Right? In America, black means more than just a racial identification. For us,
We understand
Hold on,
it.
hear what I'm saying. Just hear me first, right? And then I'm gonna listen to everything you have to say. But for us, being black is our Igbo. It is our Hausa. It is our Fulani here, right? So there is a legitimate argument if some black Americans are saying this is not really your identification. Like I always argue, there's really no African or black on the continent, right?
Right.
There's no Africans. You have Igbos, you have Fulani, you have Mosi, you have Hausa, right? Like,
yeah, but we all
so
know
for
we're black
us,
people. We all know we're black people.
No, you don't. No, y'all don't.
Nah,
Y'all
you
don't
know
even
what
call
I'm
each
saying.
other
You
gotta tell
Africans
us
on
what
the
we know. Have you
continent.
been to Africa, you dumbass?
Hold on.
Y'all don't even call each other
Talk to
Africans
me,
on the
bro.
continent.
Look,
You know that.
Talk to me.
the Senegalese are the best Africans because they don't show it, they don't throw it in your face. They treat you with respect.
Right. You know why?
That's based on your anecdotal experience,
Right.
man.
It's true.
You know why?
It's
I
true.
can give you a place in Harlem,
Like
right?
this is retarded. These conversations
But
evolve into
16th
such.
Street in
You know
Harlem,
why
The
he's saying that?
Senegalese
You know why he's
are the
saying
best
that?
St.
Because he got
Nicholas
some cheddar
Avenue, all
coochie.
the way
That's
down
But
why.
then let me
to
let me tell let me
116th
speak to
Ave.
this brother.
That
He's
is
talking about
known
Nigeria.
as Little
Let me talk to
Senegal,
him. Let
right?
me talk to him about
Senegalese
the
are more
Nigerian.
That's
educated.
known as Little Senegal. They are proud. They do let you know who they are and that these are Senegalese businesses. So no, and I don't have a problem with them being
I ain't
proud of
never
who
seen
they
the
are.
Senegalese flag in my life, and they
Okay,
live
but
right down here.
let me tell you this about the Nigerian. You complain about the Nigerian, right? Let me tell you one thing. African behave different. Nigerian in general, they are very, very aggressive, right? You will see them, they are very friendly people. They are more African than anybody else, but they seems to be very,
They're
very
more
aggressive,
arrogant.
right? Arrogant. So you will think of that word they are being somehow racist again, even toward the other African. When I see Nigerian,
They're
I can
second
tell
to
this is Nigerian,
Somalis
right?
when it comes to the most
Nigerians
problematic
don't
Right,
have
but
any
people
to
on planet.
say
Pan-African
Igbo man
mentality.
will tell you say that he's not African, you the first person I ever heard that from. The Nigerian will never tell you that he's not African, but they are very, very arrogant and aggressive. But that doesn't mean necessarily that they will say they are not African.
So
That's
allow
not
me to
true.
make my point, right? What I'm saying is what they take pride in and what they identify with, even here in America, is their tribe, right? It's the tribalism that they identify with, right? This blanket term of an African makes the false dichotomy that this is one united group. It is not. You have the Fula, you have the Moist, you have the, you know what I mean? There's all these different groups. And even in America, they don't even all rock with each other, right?
Yeah.
So,
Do the white
But
people always
Yeah,
but
because in
these are
Nigeria they're very
this is stuff.
tribal.
But anybody that's a Pan Africanist already knows this stuff. That's why I don't
that's
understand why we
correct.
keep having these
Nah,
same
you right.
rudimentary conversations, and it always devolves into this.
Look, you gotta have a solution to change the dynamic of people's mindset. You
I agree
want the
with that
status
as
quo to
well.
continue. These people gotta stop disrespecting us. If you want progress,
Listen, brother,
first of all, don't call me out my
Hold on.
name.
Let him make
brother,
his
That's
point.
number one.
Hold on.
brother,
Let him
Don't
make his
brother
point
M,
disrespect
because I
us.
brother
agree.
M, brother M.
Unfortunately, the
Brother,
feds
And
will
then you can
always be
Brother
respond.
M,
there.
Let him make
this
his
is
point.
not this is not no Pan. That's what I'm saying. This does not happen in Pan African circles, man.
Chill, bro.
That's
Just
how I know
let him.
y'all not serious for
Well,
real.
maybe it
Yeah.
needs to happen.
Pan
Brother
Africans
M,
need to
listen,
start
listen.
having some type of
Brother,
respect for themselves
brother
and don't
M,
let
brother
nobody.
M.
Hey,
You ain't
No,
finna
you
disrespect
need to
me.
know what
Southside
you're talking about because you
executive
don't know
order
what you're
is
talking
over with.
about.
Brother
Not
M, listen,
everyone
let
is
me
a
It's
say
Pan
this.
over
the
with.
brother,
Africanist.
right? Because I see where he was going. And he was making a
Right, brother
valid
M,
point.
Trump
Here's the
brother
signed
M,
that
reality.
I think
executive
you,
order.
my
It's
Here's the
over
God.
with.
reality when it comes
Bunch
to
of
brother M,
Black
idiots,
listen,
man.
Americans
listen.
and Pan
I think you
Africanism,
went
right?
around checking it to a
When it comes
Nigerian
to
and he gave
Black
it to you as good as you
Americans
gave it
and
to
Pan
him. And that's
Africanism,
what you can't accept.
we
You want
had
an
a
African to
Y'all
shut up
never gonna
and
be able to
retire and take all
crowbar
the abuse.
yourself and to try to
They ain't
destiny
taking no
swap us
abuse. So
again.
you need to accept
Allow me
that.
to respond to
Okay?
you when he's
Some of us
done.
fight back.
We're gonna let him get it out.
Y'all never
All
gonna
right.
try to
All right, so boom.
gaslight us and
But
make us
wait,
ashamed of being American ever again.
Why are you on here?
but bro,
Mr.
that's
America,
never
Mr.
Trump
gonna
America,
go.
signing that executive
Why are
order.
you on here?
It's over for
Captain
y'all.
America, Captain
Look, we
Y'all
have
can
America.
done
never
so
ever in
much.
your life once again, y'all never again, y'all Africans will never again, your Caribbeans will never again be able to say, y'all don't even know your history. You don't know where you come
Yes,
from.
we can.
Y'all,
Yes, we
y'all will
can. We can
never
say
again.
anytime we like.
Y'all be hanging from your necks.
We can
Yeah,
say
well,
Why
that
would you?
yeah.
more
Why
than
Yeah,
would?
who
ever
gonna
Why
do
would
it?
you?
Hey,
You?
Why?
Watch
please,
what
please ignore
happens.
him,
You
man.
gonna
Watch
do it?
what
say that
happens
more
in
than ever.
Dude just wants a
2026.
conversation
Claiming
to
to
be
be
centered
Indian.
around him. Dude got an
Y'all are
attention
claiming to
deficit.
be
Watch what
Indian.
happens in
We can say that more
2026.
than
Man,
ever
shut your
before.
mouth. Dennis, that's why you shouldn't
Ignore
listen
There's
him,
a
to
lot
man.
of
American.
Black
Just ignore
Americans
him,
Look,
bro.
claiming to
Anytime he
be
talk
That's
talk
on
over
Indian.
him.
FBA.
Yeah,
you see,
all right, whatever,
the
bro.
white man sent him, you see. The white man sent him
I
like in the
think
slave
I
days.
think
Now he's going to
Africans
send
should
him.
respect
Go
Black
cover that, boy.
Americans just like y'all respect the Lebanese, just like you respect the
Hey, yo, Prince
You
Chinese,
have to
Lewis.
earn
just like you
Hey,
respect.
yo,
respect
Prince
the
They're
You
Lewis.
have
never
to
gonna
Europeans.
be
earn
able to say
respect.
all
We
that
know
Prince
who to
Lewis, I'm
crazy no
respect,
more.
asking you,
African
It's
right?
over
Americans.
with.
Can you
Y'all need
allow,
to
We
show
know
us
who to
some type of
respect. We
Prince
don't
respect.
Lewis,
respect you
Prince
because you
Lewis,
went
can you
disrespecting Africans
allow,
and they put it on your neck.
Prince
Now
Lewis,
you're upset.
Prince Lewis,
Delineation is not
can you
separation.
allow
It's
Pan
social
African
distancing
blacks
from
to
y'all
have this
tethers. That's it.
conversation on your behalf?
We
Because
social
I'm with you.
distancing
Go
from
ahead,
y'all.
brother.
I'm not gonna let nobody crash out, right? But can you allow us to connect on this conversation? Because it is an issue.
Dude, there's something wrong with dude, man, for real.
Nah, let him, he good. But
No,
to the
dude got a
whole,
problem, bro, psychologically. Something wrong with him.
nah, I mean, we all get charged, right, when it comes to this topic.
No, it's not about
God
charge.
bless
Dude
Americans
literally
these
and
comes on
innocent
here
Africans.
guys
every
that
day saying
they
anytime he
know.
comes on the panel, literally saying the same thing. Literally.
Oh, you talking about the FBA, homie? I
ISIS
get
Yeah.
you.
doing the
I
Lord's
want to
work.
see Black
Literally.
America here with that American flag.
Like
Okay,
it's a lot of
But
things you
bro,
could be doing with your time.
but bro, as a Pan African, though, I look at these as opportunities, right? If we really believe in what we believe in, we should be willing and comfortable to have the conversation. This
Brother,
will
if
be
I was in a
easy
space with
work.
him, he'd be
If
choked
you
up
love
right now. I ain't
America
gonna lie
in
to
the
you.
chat, throw American flag or press a one. Where are my proud Americans at? I know
And
I'm
You
not
choke
hell with
a
that
alone
white
here.
flag.
man.
To
You was
hell
in
with
a
that
space
nah,
with a
flag.
white man. You choke a white man up.
That
If
flag is
you're a
covered in the
full-blood
blood of white
He
men.
is
American
a
Not
white
that
man.
aggressive for
To hell with
black.
that
That's the
flag.
and you
thing.
love
They
America,
are
put a
extension of
one
what
in the chat.
they
hey, yo,
just
we
white
can't
people in
hear
blackface.
anybody.
Hey, who's the
Nobody can
name
be
of that
heard.
sister who just wore the red, black, and blue and green on the stadium the other day? What's her name? She wore
Her
red, black,
name
and
was
green.
Coco Jones. She's very
Oh man, she's
attractive.
beautiful. I want to marry her.
However, I
I
pray
want to
for
marry
her
her.
that she puts on red, white, and blue on.
So
I
Prince
want to
Lewis.
marry that woman.
So
That
Prince
sister is
Lewis, understand, Prince Lewis, that was a
When
I
is
hope
Coco
they pan her
Jones?
Pan-African,
well.
Prince Lewis, that was a
Thank you, brother. I feel your
Pan-African
spirit, Lord
statement
child.
this black
Yep.
woman was
God
making.
bless you as well.
So I want to be clear on that,
Go
only
on, go
because
ahead.
Prince Lewis, I don't want you to
Mhm.
be triggered by nothing
Okay.
this brother is saying. Understand, Coco
hmm
Jones is going on the biggest platform on earth
hmm
and
hmm
being unapologetically
Yeah.
Pan-African while
Yeah.
singing the African American national anthem, right?
Amen.
And she was straight
So
too. She
Amen.
she smooched her husband like that.
don't
So
allow
yeah,
someone to trigger you to disrespect her effort and my effort,
Mhm.
right?
she
We
FBA.
we don't view you as the enemy. Now, yes,
No.
some of us do, right? And that's a conversation I'm trying to have with this brother, right? That's a conversation my good brother Nagola,
Ngolo, brother.
is trying to have with this brother, right? Many of us are still Pan-African in our hearts, but we are at a weird
And in
point
action.
in America.
Ways and actions, yes, there are people who are of the lineage of FBA
Bro, shut up.
who are still Pan
Let him
African.
cook. Let him cook.
You could keep on belly aching, but I'm not having that heart attack with you. I'm not tripping on you.
Bro, because you bring nothing to the conversation. You bring nothing to the conversation. But derail it.
Coco Jones
We haven't
is
even
a
addressed the
very
real
attractive
topic.
sister.
Are not
Again,
FBA, right?
Again,
We
Coco
don't
Jones
identify with
is
that
a
little
very
slug
attractive
you have.
young sister. She appears to be straight. She has
We're
a
actually
straight black
very
man with her.
offended that now the world is starting to view us
However,
as a part of your little club.
ideologically, she has some
I'm an
flaws.
African
Appears.
American. Right?
I can't wait till she puts that red, white, and blue on.
She's not going to.
She just
brother.
this guy is classic or Pookie Ray.
Hey, look, I think it's really interesting. I think it's really interesting that the only person
got the pulse of
that
this
got
situation.
respect in this whole life, the only person that got respect in his whole life was a white rich man and a Lebanese man. We disrespect each other like it ain't nothing. It's crazy.
He didn't get any
Bro,
respect.
bro, 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 bro.
Who respected the Lebanese?
Nobody respected Lebanese.
He didn't call him no type of name.
It wasn't no respect. He just said the behavior that they demonstrate. He didn't say that they was good or nothing.
Nobody said that.
He didn't say no. No, they are parasites. That's facts. But all he's saying is they parasite and they didn't complain about it.
Yeah,
but he's not saying that it's good.
They should be described as their behavior, just like you say the coon behavior.
Yeah, but if he would have said parasites, you wouldn't have been knowing what he's referencing. No, who
I
he's
would have known exactly what he's talking about. But I ain't finna keep talking about it.
They're creating a classification called MENA, Middle Eastern North African, right? The reason why they're creating this classification is many people from the region you're talking about come over here and classify as white. Why are we even talking about them?
We're not worried about what happens in America. As long as they don't hurt black people, we're not worried about that.
Man, quit tripping. You don't care about yourself.
The man was saying how good the Lebanese, when it comes to Ghana, they do so well in business. He was talking good about the Lebanese, but when he talking about the black people, how great they doing, how great they are, but you never gonna say that about us.
No, he give example where he said, no, he did not understand.
He got nothing good to say about us.
No. He said the things that you guys need to do.
You sound
that you guys need to do. That's what he said.
Look, do you have anything good to say about us? Is there anything good about us?
No, he did not say that, brother. Yeah,
name something good about us.
No.
What does this have to do with the topic?
I know something good about y'all. The African is the greatest businessman on planet Earth. He'll sell you anything. He'll sell you his slave family.
Let me explain myself.
You literally said this before on here.
He'll sell you anything.
You literally said this before on here.
Ethics.
He said
the topic is
we have a great time to have a dialogue. If
the topic of this video is somebody, go ahead.
They shouldn't be uncomfortable having a clear conversation where you can make your point and respond to a point, right? When I hear all this chatter, I know people are running from the real conversations, and that's
why is Africans still selling slaves?
Well, shut your mouth.
$500.
The same reason why we in our community selling fentanyl to our own people. That's why.
Well said, man.
See how Pan-African sounds?
You know, the conversation is about America, right?
The conversation is about black people
this
going to Africa.
The soccer ball back.
Wait. You know we still have slavery in America, right? You know, many
not selling slaves,
America,
bro. We're not selling slaves. They actually auctioning slaves.
No, you're not hearing what I'm saying.
Yeah. You know that.
I get your point, but what
I get your point. You can buy a slave in Africa.
Here in America.
Figueroa Avenue is a slave market in LA. That's a slave market.
You think he got a real homeboy, an ally out there in Africa? He gonna send you to the slave trading post.
Law, right? And legal in America under the U.S. Constitution. If you are convicted of a crime, you can be subjected.
Nah, the Africans are selling.
It's the Arabs. It's in Libya and Mauritania.
And they are Africans.
Those are the Africans. They are Africans.
Just like Elon Musk is an African, all right? They are Africans. They're Africans.
He's a white man.
So again, bro, the dudes you're talking to on this panel are primarily going to be from West Africa or Central Africa or something like that. We're not talking about,
they Africa.
You're not going to have a bunch of Lebanese.
If an earthquake happens in Africa, does it happen in Central Africa?
What's your obsession with Africa for, man? Are you American?
Because you hate Africa so
Dude
much. I
got an
want to know,
attention
like, you
deficit, bro.
separate yourself. This
He
is
got an
Central
attention deficit. He
Africa.
just like to talk.
Talk about America.
But the
What
problem
we
is,
talk
if we
about
That
don't
shit
Africa?
is
walk him
made up.
down,
You do know
if we
that, right?
don't walk
There's
him
only
down,
one
we're
Africa,
giving him
right?
what he wants.
My friend.
This,
I
this
just, we
is
just
This
need
is
to
made
ignore
up.
him,
so I'm saying
man.
if we're gonna
Y'all sound
respond
like the
to it,
Berlin
let's
Conference. This is
respond
Central Africa. This is East
Ooh,
let's
that's
Africa.
made up.
believe in
This is
Hey,
North
everybody
Africa.
is American.
Let's
You're so
believe in
obsessed with Pan
Pan-Africanism enough
Africanism.
to
Damn.
walk him
Y'all
You
don't
down.
care so
even
much
get it?
about Pan
That's all I'm
Africanism.
saying.
Y'all
So what are you saying we
colonized
don't get?
thoroughly.
No, we want our
What don't we
freedom, my
get?
friend. We're building our nation.
FBA had
With
y'all
our brothers and
finally
sisters
reflect
from
on
America.
yourselves
Hey,
now.
look.
Brothers and
Hey,
sisters
look.
like Professor James
Sir,
Small.
FBA
Focus on your
There's
own
a
issues
there's a
instead of
lot of
running
good
FBA,
away
things about
from it.
Africa.
FBA are tethered.
There's a lot of good things that's
FBA
going on in
are
Africa.
FBA
tethered
wants y'all
to
to do
African
well in
American
your own
history.
homelands, though.
FBA are
We
tethered
want y'all to do
to
well in your
African
own
American
homelands.
history.
That's it.
You guys
This
don't
guy is
speak
nothing about
much.
FBA. He's just a
We
FBA
advocate
and a
for y'all.
Pukirere. He's another
Instead of
FBA does
Pukirere
69
not
cents a
FBA.
speak
day, you
Hey,
can
for
feed an
are you
African
African
gonna
child.
advocate?
Americans.
Are
We
you gonna
want y'all
advocate
to
for
really
black
be
people to get
feeding
reparations?
yourselves in Africa.
Are you gonna advocate for black people to get
Nagolo, do
reparations so
you
we can go
agree?
back to
I
Africa, brother?
FBA
advocate
does
for
I
Africans
can't even hear
to
what
stick to
nobody's saying.
Africans in
Everybody's
Africa.
speaking on top of everybody. I don't
Right.
know
It's
what.
just a bunch of
So
it's just a bunch
Nagolo,
of
would
talk.
you agree? FBA does not speak for African Americans. If
We
anything,
don't want
they tether
handouts
themselves
to be
to
given out
our
to
history.
Africans and
I don't
Caribbeans.
even know what that FBA is. I'm not speaking on them no more.
It's a
That's over
club.
with.
Foundational
Thank
Black
you.
Africans. It's called
It's a
Foundational
club.
Black Africans, brother.
It's a club of Black Americans who don't want
It's
to be
not no
black
damn
Yeah, it's
anymore.
club.
Foundational
Is
Black
That's what
that
it
Africans.
is.
you a Pan African? You
Yeah,
hold
Foundational Black Africans.
ideological subversive ideas
FBA,
like Pan
What's
Foundational Black
Africanism.
subversive?
All Pan Africans are far left.
That's not true at all.
Yes,
He's an idiot.
all
I think
Pan
what he, look,
Africans are Marxist
I think what
socialists.
he mean
All
by that
Pan
is
Africans don't even
I
You
vote.
think
can
what he
never
mean
be
by that
like
is
Man.
Pan
y'all can never
When
Africans
be
you
like
are
say
Robert
liberal.
far
Mugabe.
left, you are talking
Y'all
Pan
can
about
never
Africans
be
are
like
political
Robert
liberal.
Mugabe.
affiliation. Many
Y'all
When
Pan
it comes
always
Africans don't
Marxist
even
socialists. You're
vote.
always far left. Pan
Karl
Africans.
Marx was a racist. Karl Marx was a racist,
Pan
and
Africans are
no
far
real Pan
left.
African is finna follow him. So, and no, there's not
Pan
no left
Africans
or
are
no far
always
nothing.
far
It's not no
left.
far left or
That's the
far
beauty
right.
of
Yeah,
freedom.
they
We can
far
choose what
left.
we want to
Pan
choose.
Africans are far left.
Nah, it's not, bro. Take
That's
that,
the
leave
beauty
that
of
in
freedom.
America, bro.
We can choose what we want to
Okay,
choose.
so
You
working
can
with the
stay in America and
Marxists
let the
and the
bulls of the
socialists
white
and
man.
Putin, that
No,
wouldn't
that's
mean
the
that you're
Black
far
Panther
left.
Party. That's not
It's what
that's
many
not no
African
Pan Africanism.
Americans
Hold
did.
on, hold on.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
you.
what he mean. I
Okay,
think
It's
what he
what
mean when
many
he
Lumumba,
say
Americans did.
Pan
Lumumba wasn't
Africans are
far left.
leftists
The
is
Panthers
that
subscribe
they're
to
willing to
Marxist
accept
ideology.
disrespect. They're willing to accept
That's a fact.
disrespect for
Pan
some
Africans are far
false
left, man.
peace, for some false temporary
The
peace.
Chinese,
They're willing to
Brother, if
Chinese
accept.
that's
have
the
done
case,
more
then
for
don't
Africa.
engage. It's that
The
simple. You don't
Chinese
have
have
to
done more
engage. It's
for
literally
Africa
that
than
simple.
America ever did. The Chinese have done more to develop Africa, help us develop Africa, than the white man in Europe ever did. Or the
Yeah, the
Americans
Communist
ever did.
Chinese
And now
Party,
you're
See,
gonna
yes.
you
cry
talking
like
good about the
bitches because
Chinese
we're
now.
doing business
What
with
you
the
call? What
Chinese.
you talk?
We're doing business
Disrespect the
with the
Because he's
Chinese?
Chinese.
far left.
We're doing business with the
That's
Chinese. They're
Why you
helping us develop
why you
our nation.
disrespect us
And you
I'm gonna
and
don't
be
not the
like that.
honest,
Chinese?
yo.
You
You
don't like that
FBA
because you
dudes
want
are
us to run to the
embarrassing.
white man and
Yeah, they
beg him,
ruin these
oh
shows,
yes,
man.
give us a
Real
little
talk.
Y'all are
some.
embarrassing.
No. We're going east and we're looking as far as possible
And the
and we like what
unfortunate
we see.
part
And we're
that
gonna
I
go
would
there and
tell
get
Prince
development.
Louis
We ain't going to
is
America.
the
Step to
unfortunate part I
America.
would tell Prince Louis is he associates many of us Pan-African African Americans with FBA just because we're from America.
Pan
We don't
African.
align.
A Pan African
We
can
don't
never
align
truly
with their
be half
ideology at
FBA. They
all.
can only be an honorary
military tether. That's it, or a tether. If you are of FBA lineage and you're a Pan
Hey,
African,
what's the topic, man?
you are
Hey, so
honorary
somebody
tether.
else speak.
Foundational Black Africans, FBA.
The topic is somebody's making fun of.
The topic is we're walking down FBA. Right?
Yeah, to get back on topic, I think it is important for anybody who has traveled or would like to travel to like become more immersed. I think that's the point of what dude was saying was like, you know, plan your trips when you want to go to these different places and like actually do some work to try to immerse with the locals to really experience that.
Absolutely.
It's a culture that we usually grow up that's a lot different from our own, and we just got to put focus into that and like, you know, give ourselves a chance to enrich our actual cultures and stuff with
and to that point,
experience.
And then that's true because the fact is, if people travel to Africa, they go for party, They stay in the city, they run out of money, they come back, they complain. So in order for you to understand it, you got to interact with the
See, but this is
locals,
a part of the problem.
make your hand dirty,
100%.
and then you understand how
But
the
wait,
system
brother.
works. But you can
Let him
stay
finish,
you
bro.
go to
Hold on.
Ghana, you go to Accra, you go for a party, and then you run out of cash, then you start complaining, oh,
Yeah.
Ghana is not good.
Right.
Stop
That's not
romanticizing
the right way
Africa.
So
of
here's
doing
the
it.
thing, though. You're
Bro, hold
presenting
on,
it from a
Let him, hold
negative
on,
aspect,
Right,
bro.
and
Let
you
him
can go out
finish.
there and survive.
Let
Willie,
me
chill,
finish.
Do
bro.
you know the
Let him
conversion
finish.
rate?
Let me finish,
Willie,
sir.
chill. Let
So
him finish,
the
bro.
whole thing is
I thought
the
you was
reason
done.
why Mr. The guy from London, what he was saying, he was just giving example, and I give this similar example that if the Lebanese and the Chinese can go into the remote part of Africa and be successful, why we the black people, inclusive everybody, African, African American, why
Being
we should
wrapped.
complain about no infrastructure, no
Yep.
electricity, no
Real
this, no
talk.
that, no running water?
Tribalism.
It's going to get late for us, right? So
Get
we
off
have
your
to
high
go and make
horse.
our hand dirty in order for you to be successful. You got to struggle. You got to suffer. Any system that is so comfortable,
That's not
it's very very difficult to succeed in that type of
Listen, I was in Sierra Leone in
environment.
Bro, y'all let
Christmas
him
in
finish.
December. I was
Especially
Hold
disgusted.
on, bro.
especially when you see America right now. Africa is on a developing stage, right?
That's it.
We are still developing. We have not reached our limit yet. So there's a lot of opportunity that you
Make
can make
big
use of.
money.
But in order for you to succeed in that kind of environment, life is not going to be so comfortable for you. Electricity is not going to be over. If that be the case, then everybody will go there,
Yep.
right?
gotcha.
So this is the best time for you to penetrate the system. But in America, there's so many regulations right here.
All
And
you
you
need is
need
oil.
capital intensity to start a lot of things in America.
Yep.
There's no way that you can succeed here anymore. So in order for you to make
That's
it
not
now,
true,
you have to go
brother.
to Africa and make your hand dirty. There's
That's
no
not
regulation.
true, brother.
Bro, let
Opportunity
him
in
finish
America
before
is
you
dead
say
now. All
anything.
you can do is work for someone. Trust me,
Yes.
entrepreneurs are not coming up. It's only
No.
the rich. There's no in
Bro,
between. Listen,
that's not
1%.
true.
Let me tell you what's
Yeah,
true.
that's not
1%,
Louis,
1%,
chill out, bro.
1% of
That's
Let him
not
go
true.
Americans,
and then he
brother.
can speak.
Brother,
Let him go.
the statistic is 1% of America own 90% of the wealth. Go and check it out. Go and Google it.
Correct.
Bro,
Yep.
how much you
What's
think
your
wealth it
point in
is to
saying
make it to
that?
1%?
Brother, sorry?
I said
What's
how
the
much
point in saying that?
Right, listen. Any statistic, anybody will tell you, you got more chance. If you got a little bit of capital from here, you go to Africa and you know the system, you're going to make 10 times more money than you will ever make here. And
that's
that's what
true.
I've been working
That's
on.
true.
And that's what
Wait,
I'm
Yep.
going
that's
to
That's why
do.
the
not true.
Lebanese are in
Okay?
Africa.
Nah,
A
bro,
developing nation, more opportunities there.
It
This is already built
no,
up. What are you going to sell?
So
Go and
now
sell
let me present
he
stickers on
this.
Amazon? What are you going to sell?
Watch
it
this.
bro,
is true about the
you got a
red
little
tape.
bit of
To
I mean,
create
you
an
if
got a
you want
little
to
bit
go
of
even
things
on
playing
mixed
scale,
up.
field, right? To
if
create an even playing field, if I'm gonna take my Black American dollars and go anywhere, I don't necessarily have to come back to the continent, right? I could make 10 times as much in India, right? I could create call
Good luck
centers.
with that, bruh.
Oh, hear what I'm saying. Hear what I'm saying.
Good luck trying
Right?
to sell to an Indian.
Yeah.
Hear what I'm saying.
I'll get real. Listen, your
No, this
president
is
Donald
real.
Trump,
I'm trying to share something with you. Relax.
Your president Donald Trump made
Come on, bro. We
the
listen to you,
assertion
bro.
when he
At
came
certain
to
points,
power.
you gotta mute up. Like we've listened to you uninterrupted. I wanted to respond to you, right? So now here's my response to what you're saying. If you're saying, right, that outside of this beautiful life I have in America with foreign cars and a home that I built from the ground
Bro,
up,
get to
right?
the
If you're
point, man.
saying, hear me out, hear me out. If you're saying that the way to even more money comes
Yep.
through Africa.
Yep.
Bro, you not Jigga. Quit playing. You're not Fly either.
So can I finish? What you want to see the
You broke.
cars?
Bro,
I'm
just
broke.
get to the point, man.
Go
Oh,
ahead,
all right.
bro.
Hurry up, dude.
Here's the point. What I'm
Americans
saying,
have to build in Africa.
Well said,
Simple.
brother. Hey,
Black
let this brother
Americans
speak
don't
out.
have to build anywhere. And because we're American, We have the opportunity to build anywhere in the world we want.
Brother, listen.
If you want a
you're a black
generation,
But that's
Africa,
what,
you
bro.
need to
That's
build
what
enough.
y'all speaking, bro. With all due respect, bro. If anybody, in my opinion, bro, that's still referring to themselves as a just outright American, you're not really no real Pan Africanist,
Yeah,
man.
you a joke.
Like
I said black
Dr.
American, brother.
Obadele Campbell says that all the time. A lot of people, bro,
Thank you.
that keep talking about this quote unquote Pan Africanism stuff. Y'all are not really Pan Africanists. Like the
I
term
said
has gotten
black
cool.
American, though, brother.
The term has gotten cool to use, but like I said the other day, bro, in action and in reality and in culture and in mindset, most people that be talking about this Pan Africanism stuff aren't really Pan Africanists. That's why these conversations keep
Thank you,
revolving around
sir.
the same rudimentary stuff.
So let me ask you.
And I
How do
would
you
like to add on
define?
to and
How do
compliment
you
what you're
define
saying,
Pan
sir.
Africanism?
Give me a second.
Pan
I like to add on and
that we put
compliment
our
what you
people
just
first.
said,
That's all
sir.
it is.
All
We
right.
put our
Hold
people
on,
first.
bro.
So
Shut up.
I'm
the
not
way
even
I
trying
look
to
at
get
it
on the
is
floor.
this.
Let me ask him a
The way I
question
look at it
about
is this.
something he just said
You can
before we
be
run that
you could
stop
be
sign, and then you
Pan
got the
African
floor, bro.
first,
Before we
Dude is
run the
but you
just
stop
talking.
cannot
sign,
be
I just want to ask him a
FBA
question on
after
what
you
he
become
just
Pan
said
African.
before we run the stop sign, right?
You understand that?
So when you say that a lot of Black Americans that associate themselves with Pan Africanism aren't really Pan Africans, my
No, you're
question to
not.
you, my brother, my question, I'm not asking you. My question to you, my brother, that said that was, what is your definition of Pan African?
In 2026.
No, it's not about no 2026. Look, brother, it's about you having prioritize African culture, African economics, African language, African worldview.
So you do understand that's
It's
not
not
Pan
it.
Africanism, right?
He
No,
was
but
just on
yes, it
here
is.
last night, sir, talking about recolonizing Africa.
Pan
He wants
Africanism
to
is very
recolonize
simple.
Africa. He said he wants to recolonize
I
Africa.
don't know that. I don't know who said that. That was not me, so I
That was
don't
Wall
have
Street
no opinion
Will.
towards that.
That was my brother Kwame. You got the wrong
No,
guy.
but that
Here's
was
what I'm
you.
saying though. Hold on.
You said
FBA.
you and your
FBA,
brother
give us respect
Kwame,
and FBA
you two
respectfully.
should go over to Africa and recolonize it.
He
That's
didn't
your
say that.
goals.
That wasn't him, right?
probably
So
That
slow
was
down
you
for a
two.
Yeah, I
second,
don't
FBA.
know nothing about that conversation.
That's
Right,
crazy that you won't back
Nagolo,
that
that
up, though.
wasn't you. Right, but Nagolo, when you gave your definition of Pan-Africanism, right, that does kind of leave Black Americans in the lurch, right? Because
Yeah,
the
which I'm
reality is,
saying,
hear me
I
out, hear
would
me
want
out.
them to be though.
Hey, can I land real quick, bro? Right, like how I understood Pan-Africanism from what I was taught from my mother and father was, it was the goal of Blacks benefiting Blacks anywhere in the world, right?
Yep.
So it was
Oh,
about
man.
working with the diaspora, it was about working with the continent, and it was also about working with other Black Americans right here in America, right? Like
What
our
diaspora?
internal, hold on,
Let him finish, bro.
our internal domestic issues, right? And how we could help each other here without ever factoring in Africa. That is still Pan-Africanism.
No,
Right?
yeah, it's an aspect of it, but it's not that in its entirety.
So hold
That's
on.
why I just
That's
gave a brief
tribalism.
synopsis.
That's
But
tribalism, brother.
the most essential elements, yes, it is working together. But again, it's prioritizing the culture and the worldview, because the culture and the worldview is going to help us elevate and create things for ourselves,
But see,
and
here's
not
the
try to look
problem.
towards other places.
Here's the problem. When you say
Yeah,
that,
you got a
right?
problem. You got a
Hold
problem
on.
with Africa. You just don't want to include Africa. You're cooning,
I'm gonna
trying to
respond
disguise
after
and
you.
dance around it
Bro,
better
come
than
on,
Africa.
man.
He's an
I'm
agent.
gonna
All
respond
right?
after
I'm
he's
trying to
done.
let
Let him
your
get it
Pan
out.
Africans
Let him
know
get it out.
out
Chill.
there. He's an agent.
Yeah,
I'm
All right.
FBA. I
He's
don't
a
want
copy
no
agent.
parts
He
of
tries to hide it, but
Hey,
colonizing
FBA,
ain't
can
y'all.
I have the
Y'all
conversation
can
with my
keep
other
colonizing
American brother?
yourselves,
Yeah.
like
FBA,
y'all been doing.
FBA, can me and my African American brother have a moment, right? Because I want to respond to what he said.
I'm not African American, brother.
What do you consider yourself? You not from America?
That's telling them, bro.
No, I was
Bro, you
born here.
see
I
that
was
red,
born
black,
here,
and
but
green?
I'm
He's
not no
serious
African
with
American.
it. He's serious with it.
So what do you consider yourself if you're not African American?
What do you mean? What I consider myself? Like what you
I mean,
talking about in terms of nationality or culture?
I'll keep it simple. An Igbo considers himself an Igbo. Fulani considers
I'm
himself a
Bamayele.
Fulani. Okay, so you are directly attaching yourself to Africa, and that's great, bro. I would never shoot you down in doing that, right? But the
That's
point
what you've
is,
been doing all
but
day since
hold
you've
on.
been on here.
No, it's not what I've been doing. Let me have the conversation, right? The point I'm making is that's not a requirement of Pan-Africanism, right? Like What I've learned
See, these
What
people,
over the
Asian
last
provocateurs,
couple
make me
years,
Pan-Africanism?
sick, man.
mainly, hold on. What I've
It's called
learned over,
Pan-Africanism. What part of that don't you understand?
Ayo, bro,
Africanism.
can we talk, bro? Like, can we, so we can hear each other? You got the
I'm
floor
pulling
right
up your
after me.
skirt, Big
Or
Will.
would you
I,
prefer to have the floor
you an
first
Asian
and then allow me
provocateur.
to speak?
You always been.
Bro, let him finish so we can get the conversation going.
You the type to
Bro,
fuck up
hold on,
your money
Sammy.
on
Let him
some
finish,
on some
bro.
J's, on some Jordans.
Sammy,
These
what you
people over there on the
mute
continent,
this guy,
they
bro?
trading gold for food.
Who's trading gold
You
for
fuck
food?
up your money
Bro,
on
Sammy, dude, you
J's.
over here trolling now. Let
Trading
him
gold for
finish,
food.
dude. Chill.
Ayo,
Hey, who's
FBA.
trading gold for food?
Ayo,
I want to go buy
FBA.
some
Hold
now.
on,
My
bro.
money is long,
Bro,
FBA.
Willie, get to
I'm
the
not
point,
messing
man.
up
Hell
Stay
out
nothing,
on
of here,
topic,
man.
bro.
right? So that's a part of the topic, right?
Just get to it, bro. You over here
Right.
trying to.
So again, all right, you're right. I'm dealing with your definition of Pan-Africanism and mine, right? I'm saying even in, if you look at the AES, right? Like that is a demonstration of Pan-Africanism, right? But what you see in that is it doesn't include everybody in Africa, right? That's just a reality. But it still sticks to the tenets of Pan-Africanism, one group working with another for everyone's benefit, right? We're working for each other's benefit. So I'm
It's
saying,
always you Yankees forcing Pan-Africanism on the
Sammy,
continent.
bro, quit cutting people off, bro. It ain't your turn.
we're not forcing anything on you, brother. You can do
You
what you
keep getting
want over there.
distracted, Willie. You got to stick to your point, bro, so you can
You're
pass
right.
the mic.
So what I'm saying is, right, like with Pan-Africanism, there is room for Black Americans to be domestic. The same way there's room for Africans to
Never
focus
trust a New
on what's
Yorker, yo.
going on there, right? The important part, what separates us from coons is we're not shooting each other down, right? That's the distinction.
Right.
Once
Okay,
you
brother.
start to do that, then you become a coon. You would
Right.
agree with me, Nicola,
Right.
right?
Yeah, I'm not saying, I'm not outright saying that everybody that identifies with it would not. I mean, I kind of would say that because if you're directly supporting the American power structure, then you are going against my goals. So yeah, I would have to say that you would be going against what I'm.
Now, Nicola,
Can I say something?
now wait, that point is what I wanted to deal with, right? Because the reality is we are Americans, right? Like there's a goofy dude, but he makes, you know how a broken clock is right twice a day. So goes the cracker, goes the Negro in America. That's
Now
one
that's
thing.
coon talk, bro. I'm
That's
sorry.
literally the
Nah,
only
bro,
thing
hold
he
on. Let him
says that I
finish.
ever agree with.
I think he got a point here.
Hold
It's
on,
something.
hold on. So that's the only thing this one particular guy that makes that comment says that I ever agree with, right? That is the reality, right? Like how America operates and functions does highly determine where we land as Black Americans. If America's doing well, we do better than we were doing before. If America gets a cold, we get AIDS. You get what I'm saying?
I wouldn't necessarily. Oh, my bad. You're not finished. My bad.
Yeah, I'm saying we are because of where we are, right? Being here in America, we are directly, our fate is somewhat attached to the fate of this nation, right?
You mean the fate of the white man?
And brother, in my opinion, that's why our quote unquote community in the United States is finished because it's contingent upon it's too dependent in nature. That's
What he
and
said,
if you're hitching your wagons to a nation state or formation that doesn't care anything about you, to me that's just incredibly idiot.
But Flex, let me ask you something real quick, bro.
That's not our
Hold on.
reality.
Hold on, let me
America
ask
very
Flex something real
much
quick,
cares
y'all.
about us, right? Like
Hold on.
as
Willie,
a
hold on,
consumer
bro.
base, yeah.
you have
Other than that,
generals
no.
like Westmoreland, right? This is a Black general, one of the highest ranking officers in the U.S. military, right? My
No.
point is that's how ingrained we are in this system.
So
One
let
of
me ask him.
the fallacies a lot of people believe, and I'll land here, is that this is just a white country. No, this is my home as well, right? My lineage, my history does have an effect on everything that this country was able to become, all the way going back to Crispus Attucks. We were involved from the very beginning, right? So we
Your
are.
parents aren't from the United States, and you know it.
I mean that, brother. I don't agree with that, but I'll let somebody else.
But Flex, let me ask you this, bro. On top of what he just said, bro.
Pointing his gun at you.
Hold on, bro. Let me ask you
Say it
this
again,
though.
brother.
But think
Go ahead,
about it.
family.
Think about it from this perspective though, bro.
I'm
Like
listening.
honestly, if we consider like, you know, being like the most wealthy, the majority of our wealth comes from in the United States and the conditions that the United States has set forth. And the same with being the most educated is because of the opportunities and stuff to colleges that we have that kind of give us like our advantages in a lot of ways. So it does come specifically tied to how the United States is doing. So
Correct.
I mean, he's not wrong in that. I get what you're saying, like as
No,
far as the
I'm not
future,
saying
but
he's wrong. I'm
if
saying
we look,
it's stupid to tie yourself to that.
but it's not.
In my opinion, as a quote unquote African American, if you
it's
if you
not, bro,
identify as that.
because it is the reality though. Like it is.
No, it
I
is,
get.
but I'm saying you should create the thing with why I think that African Americans that are intelligent should cling to Pan Africanism is because you being tied to that system that you don't have a direct, I would say, full stake in is not intelligent to do that.
No,
But
I hear
here's
what
what
you're
I'm
saying. You're
saying though.
saying we got to take
Here,
our history. Hold on, Willie. We got to take our history and put it into our own hands. I get what you're saying with that,
Correct.
but
right.
at the end of the day, the majority of us that are not doing that, bro, like it is kind of already tied to the system that
Yeah,
we're
and
in, though.
they're gonna fall by the wayside, and it is what
Sir,
it is.
sir,
All right.
do you do
If,
you
if
do
But
can
you
I
here's
can
hold
my
I
do you
point.
can I
hold
ask a question here?
other nationality to that same standard that they have to give up their nationality to become Pan Africans? Do
He's
the
not saying you
British
have
I
to
ain't
give up your nationality, bro.
no other
have to give up
nationality.
Britain?
I don't know of any
Hey,
other
pause,
nationality. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's
I'm
the
talking about a
thing.
pause,
Pan
What
Africanism. You got black
nationality
brother
people
did we
from
give
all
Wolski.
up?
over the world that's part of
What
Pan Africanism.
nationality did
Brother
we give
Wolski,
up?
can I just ask you a simple question after
He's
what you
saying that
said?
you shouldn't be American and be part of Pan African. Are you
So
going to
what
tell
I'm
other
saying is,
nationalities that?
Yes,
if we're
yes.
giving up a nationality, it would be our American
What about
nationality, right?
Jamaicans?
The
Let him
reality
Yes.
finish,
is,
bro.
right? The reality is we went through an ethnogenesis, right? We became our own people here. We are
Bro,
ingrained in this system.
hello,
I'm
hello.
not, hold on, and I'm gonna land here. Let me finish.
That's not
I'm
true for
not
you yet.
giving up.
That's what the
I'm not
Brazilian is.
giving up.
The black
Hold on.
Brazilian. That's what he is at the
Hold
moment.
on. Slow
That's
down,
not true
bro.
for you.
You got the floor next, and I promise you I'm not gonna say nothing, right? But what I'm saying is, me as a black American, I'm not gonna give up the inroads and progress that we've made in America, right? And I'll land here making my final point, right? Right now in America, they're using Chat GPT to literally talk to the dolphins, right? Now, when you look at the team that's working on that, they're all black men on that team. What you are asking me to do, right? If you're asking me to not recognize my nationality, is to give up everything that my ancestors fought for, died for, and invested in, right?
Okay,
I'm
what do
not
they
willing
fight
to
for,
give
brother?
that up.
What do they fight for?
Brother. Look, but this ancestors fought and died stuff. If the dollar stops being the world reserve currency, all of that our ancestors fought and died for this. That's not going to be the case. African Americans are going to be on the first train smoking when it's not convenient. So
So
no,
that's literally that was
people just
That's
literally
make
not.
this
Sound
That's.
like a
conversation because
traitor.
it's
You
convenient.
sound like a
that
Brother
traitor.
was
I
Wolski,
my
think. I
point,
think.
let
I
brother.
me
think
ask
we
you a question.
get.
Let me ask a
We
question,
I
brother
don't think you
Wolski.
understood my point,
Right,
brother.
right.
That
I
Go
was
ahead,
I
Lewis.
did
What's up?
understand your
You
point.
gotta take
Let
your
me just
shit
ask
back
the
to
brother one question. Let me just ask the
civilization,
brother
He
one
bro.
was still
question.
alive, the American dollar will fail.
oh somebody
Lewis,
shot
go
at
ahead,
me.
bro.
Oh, I
Brother,
gotta
let
go
me
back
just
to
ask you one
Psycho.
question.
Who
Listen,
said that?
listen. Let me tell you something, brother, about me. Okay? Most of the people that, when they meet me, even
Shout
when I'm
out
back
to
in
Psycho.
Ghana, most of
Yeah.
them think, okay, the ones who can't identify accent, that I actually live in America because I listen to nothing but American music. I know more about Black American music than probably you do, right?
See? See?
Listen, I
That's
immerse
crazy.
myself. I follow the IUIC Hebrew Israelite movement. That's how much, and I'm an Ashanti boy.
Man, who gave you some coochie,
Right?
Tether?
So hear me out.
You ain't getting no FBA
That
coochie. We all
disrespect
damn
is
well.
not
Hold on,
None
necessarily
of
an
that.
excuse.
FBA.
Bro,
I got you.
So
Hold
hear
on.
me
Let me
out.
hey,
crash out
let's keep
My
it on
biggest,
topic though, bro.
hold
Let
on.
him
What's
finish.
your favorite
I'm
Hold
MC?
on,
keeping it on
Hold
Willie.
on.
topic. I'm gonna keep
Hold
it on
on,
topic.
Willie. Let him
Right?
finish,
My
What's
biggest,
your favorite Donald Goins
no,
book?
hang on a minute.
bro. Let
You
him
made the
finish, man.
claim you know
Make his
black
point,
history, black American culture
bro.
better
You
than
can't
me.
be getting
I
triggered
said
by
music.
everything
I said
somebody
music,
says,
and
bro.
I'm
Let him
The
music.
finish,
I'm
only
not
way you can
triggered,
know
bro.
about something like this, you had to be pillow talking to
bro.
someone.
He clearly ain't. It's not. Just let him finish and get to his point,
Bro,
though. That's what we
Nah,
need
I
to
you
just
do.
right.
spent
Let him
You
get
I
to
right.
just
his
spent the
point,
whole
Nah, you right.
afternoon listening to the Force MDs. Forgive me, girl. I've been playing out Ryan the Clock. I
Lewis,
love
bro.
the song.
Lewis, bro. You got to
Okay.
get to your point, man.
All right. The point I'm trying to make is this. Okay. I love the African American culture. I know the history. history and everything. And sometimes I sit and I ask myself, okay, but the brothers and sisters over there is not easy. They were removed 500 years ago through war mainly. Okay, they've been through what they've been through, and it is not that easy for all of them to pick up a bag. And even according to prophecy, most of us are going to be in America anyway. So that's cool. But the point I've got to say to you is this: do you think you've done all that fighting just so you can integrate and not have no representation right now in office? Why didn't you just take that time now and get about 4 or 5 states that you run and control strictly for blacks, that no white man could go to power? So at least you can claim that territory as yours.
Got you.
After now, so much you get the MAGA movement rising up. Oh, I'm thinking about here is, my God, we're going to go through Mississippi burning all over again, which is a torture on all black
Please
people.
allow me to respond, y'all.
Right?
Go ahead.
Why have
Yeah,
you
of
not
course.
fought? Why have you not fought for your own states that you run and control? If that is your aim at the end of the day, if you hate a Pan-African or the idea of going back to Africa that much, why don't you do that?
Lewis,
So
let me ask you real
allow me
quick,
to
bro.
answer
Do
that.
you
Hold
know what
on, Rick, and I'm gonna
percentage?
keep
Do
it
you know what
short.
percentage of
I'm
Black Americans is in the United States?
13%,
Like,
right?
I'm not
So
asking you, Willie. I'm asking him, bro.
my bad.
Okay,
But let me
to the best of
respond
my
to him.
knowledge,
Because you opening it up for
it's
him to
about
go
35
again
million or
without being
so, or
taught.
maybe 38 million, right? I might
So
not have
what
the
That's why I
percentage
don't
is that
ask
though?
questions.
and
But
the
go ahead.
percentage of them that actually live in America, I would say is about 95%.
95% of Americans is black. I'm saying what percentage of Americans you think are black?
Oh, America, I think it's about 15%.
13.
Okay.
Nah,
Am I
it's
right
way
or
more
wrong?
than 13. You
Can
know
I
that.
can
They
I
It's a
keep
little
on
can
bit
I
less than
saying
that.
respond
it.
to
So
this guy about
yeah.
You
why
are
don't black
Asian.
people got their own states? Can I respond to
No,
that?
I said, why don't you
Go ahead,
fight for
brother.
that? Fight
Let
for
me
that.
respond to that real quick. 2 minutes. Let me get 2 minutes for that.
Go ahead, brother.
After the Civil War, black people were not United States citizens. We
I know
controlled
that.
the entire South, all of the southern states. It wasn't until the dismantlement of the Freedmen's Bureau and us getting the 14th Amendment, in which all of our territories that we won after the Civil War was enfranchised in the United States. Because of that 14th Amendment, that's why we don't have those southern states anymore. And also, that's the reason 44 million Africans are able to get citizenship. So we
Nah, that's
had those
wrong.
states
Okay, brother, let's
right
go
after the
ahead.
Civil War.
Go ahead.
Nah, so
Go
I
ahead,
want to
brother.
clarify.
You haven't finished. Has he finished?
You
Have
done,
you
bro?
finished, brother?
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah,
All
you
right.
say, why don't we have these
All
states?
right.
We have the states.
So hold on. So I wanna answer that, right? So the first thing you have to understand is Black Americans are spread out all over this nation, right? Like what benefits us doesn't even necessarily mean having a city or a state or a town, right? We have a very clear reality of what has happened when we did that and couldn't defend it. We're talking Tulsa, Oklahoma. We're talking Rosewood,
That was not a state,
Florida.
bro.
Hold
I'm
on, let me
talking about
finish.
running
Let me
a state.
finish. Can I finish, brother? Just let me finish, right? So one thing I realize when I'm talking to a lot of people is they really don't know Black American history, right?
Brother, I
Most
know
of
Black
us,
American
can I
history.
finish, bro?
Okay, I know
Can I
Black
finish?
American history.
I didn't say a
Okay?
word while you were speaking,
We go
brother.
to school here in England and in Africa. We know Black
I didn't
American
say a
history.
word while you were speaking. But
You're
since you
making
want to
excuses just
interrupt
so you
me,
can push you in the corner. We know
since
Black
you want to
American history.
interrupt me, right? Can you name another type of structure besides integration in America?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. You should be fighting
No,
to
I
have your
asked
own
you, can
state
you
that you
name
run
another
and control.
structure? No.
That's what you should be fighting
Slow
for.
down,
Instead of civil
slow
rights,
down, bro.
that's what
Slow
you
down.
should have fought for.
Before you
That's what
tell
you should
me
be
what
fighting
to
for
do
now.
in my country, I'm asking you, do you understand
Well, you
our
obviously you love your
dynamics?
country as
So
it
let me
is.
ask the question again. You're crashing out, bro. We can't have a
No, I'm not
conversation.
crashing out. I'm not
You
crashing
Yeah, he
out.
are.
You're
I'm
crashing
not
out,
asking
bro.
an
He
fighting
answer.
you,
crashing
bro.
out.
Why
Slow
don't
down.
you run 3 or
Slow
5
down.
states
Slow
by
down.
yourself?
I'm gonna ask you a
He
question
crashing out,
again.
bro.
I want to ask you a question again, and then I'll possibly educate you if you can't answer me. Do you
Bro,
know
there's
of any
nothing you can
system?
educate me on
Do
when
you
it comes
know
to
of any
America.
system after the Civil War besides integration?
At that time, that was the only thing available. That's what white man gave you. That was the
All
only
right,
thing
cool.
available to you.
So you don't
That's
know.
not true, brother.
So wait.
Okay?
So let me.
You
So
had
now allow
Jim
me.
Crow. You
So
had Jim
now allow
Crow.
me to
Okay?
educate
Hold
you,
on, bro.
right?
You had the Ku Klux
Here,
Klan and the Jim
slow
Crow and all
down,
that era.
bro. Come
Okay?
on, you being a dickhead, bro.
No, you're
Chill.
being a dickhead. You're avoiding
Brother,
answering the question. Why don't you
Jim
fight for 4 or 5
Crow
states on
and
your own?
after Reconstruction, that's you conflate 2 different time periods,
Bro,
brother.
listen, I'm talking about 2026. Okay, you know black man ain't got no
Yo,
power in
fam.
America. God damn it, do
Nah,
anything
that's
you want in
true.
your goddamn
All
mouth.
right, fam.
That's
Let
true.
me
If you
respond
listen
to
to other
what
people, you
my
might have
other.
something. Why
Let me
don't you run
respond to
and get
what my
about 4 or
other
5 states that
American
you run and
brothers
control
said that was
according to
wrong.
the American Constitution? Why don't you do that? I'll have more respect for you if you done that. You should
Lewis,
be
bro, hold
just
on,
happy sucking on
See,
the
this shit getting
nutsack of the
bro,
white
ridiculous.
man.
Because I'm coming
bro.
to you genuinely and I'm trying to have a
Don't give me no
conversation
genuine crap.
and you're
Listen, we know
filibustering
what tribe you belong to
and
when
you're
you left
being
when you were
disruptive.
forced out of
Why does the
We
Africa.
guy
don't know
pass it
what
out
Okay,
like
tribe
this,
we
you
This
know,
man?
from.
dude is a
and you
pretender.
know what we
Wall
used to get
Street
head.
Will is a
You need that
pretender.
warrior
He's not
spirit, and
even
you're not showing that warrior
100,
spirit to
man.
me, brother.
He make me sick because he not FBA, and he make y'all sick because you know he not Pan African.
I'll never be FBA. I am Pan African. I'm
Can
an
you finish
African
what you were
American.
saying though? Can you go back to what you was about to say?
Then I want to
So
hear you
so I
denounce
asked
your
him, the
country.
question I asked
I
him
want to hear you
was,
denounce
could
your
he
place of
name
birth.
another system besides integration
Yeah,
after
you ain't
the Civil War?
100%.
The answer to that, very
I
simply,
love America.
was infusion cities, right? Now, a great example of an infusion city would be Wilmington, North Carolina, right? So if anyone doesn't know about
Infusion city
Alexander,
is
if
integration, bro.
anyone doesn't
That's
know about,
integration.
no, it's different. It's different from integration, right? So what infusion cities were was putting whites and blacks in the same city to just
Exactly.
compete. It wasn't
Integration.
about, can I finish? Can I finish? Do you want to learn something, bro?
No,
Bro,
there's
stick
nothing
to
you
the
can
point
teach
and
You
me.
ain't
get to it,
Because
teaching
man.
what I'm proposing
nobody.
ain't nothing new. It's already
You a
been
Willie, you
damn
invented
take
cavity,
in the
bro.
Willie, you
You a
1960s,
take too long when you
cavity.
talking,
1970s.
bro. That's what
Black
piss
people
everybody
should have
off, man.
all
You
Yo,
got to
sovereignty
bro,
get to
the
the
of their
nigga
point.
home
keep
that they
cutting me
run and
off.
control.
The
Okay?
point ain't
You don't
that
want to hear
long.
that because you're cooning,
Go
bro.
to
I asked him
DJ
a simple
Genesis channel
question. He
for that
didn't know the answer,
bullshit.
so I'm trying to put him on.
Bro, you got to
So
get to
again,
it,
I
though.
won't take that long, right? I'm quick. Ask my wife, right? So again, infusion cities, right? Wilmington, North Carolina,
Why do
Alexander
you want to
Manly,
infuse the white
right?
man? Why do you
See,
want
Bro,
to
let him
infuse
you
finish,
him?
see,
Lewis.
you
Let
see.
him finish. I want to
But
hear
I'm
his point,
taking
bro.
long, right? So again, right, there were other archetypes besides integration. Infusion cities were about just putting black people and white people next to each other, just letting them compete, right? That was a fairly good model that worked out for us. We did well under that. What happened was, right, a white woman went
Exactly.
to,
White will be white. White
Lewis,
people will be
bro,
white.
come on,
What happened
bro.
Yeah,
to
he's
Regina,
talking
Lewis.
that
brother?
identity politics. Y'all
Lewis,
see it
bro, you
now?
the oldest dude
He's
in
an
the
agent.
room, bro. You got to let us at least get to his point before you start coming at him
shit
like that.
corny, bro, because I let him make his point uninterrupted, right?
You got to show decorum, bro. You supposed to
Who
be.
sent
Come
you,
on.
bro? That's all I want to know.
Let him finish. Go ahead,
Marcus
Willie. Go
Garvey.
ahead, bro.
He sent me. But anyway, right? So with infusion cities, they just put blacks and whites next to each other, let them compete. Right? I already said Wilmington, North Carolina. What ended up happening there was an extremely successful man by the name of Alexander Manly. He had his own newspaper, right? He wrote an article responding to something a white woman said to Congress, right? It ignited the South. So that argument that we were in control of all these states in the South, no, that wasn't the case. What happened was the
Queen
red shirts,
Yannick.
the,
Yeah, you right.
the red shirts was sent to Wilmington, North Carolina, and it's called the burning something, right? Like they burnt everything
Are
down,
you saying that
ran.
I'm not telling the truth about the Freedmen's Bureau? That's not true. The
But,
Freedmen's Bureau
bro, can he finish his
wasn't
point
Well,
before you
it
jump
never
in with
happened.
that?
Go
That don't
ahead.
got nothing.
so what I'm saying that you said that wasn't true was that we had this control over the South that we did not have, right? What we did have was after the Civil War, we had a lot of black men get into politics for the first time. Many of them were on the floor of the Congress, right? Like we had great success even in the Reconstruction period, right? But what happens? We have these towns where we build things, we're not prepared to defend them, and white people attack as we get successful. They burn our cities down, right? And then we have to rebuild. So, to your point of our goal should just be to be autonomous on this foreign land, right? I want to make it clear for you that's not really an
Foreign
option.
land?
That's not
What?
really
Okay,
that's
brother.
not really an option, right?
Yeah, all
What
right,
what
all right.
became
Brother.
what became the option that was most beneficial was integrating into the system. Now understand what
Can you
integration
give
means, and I'll
specific
land here.
dates?
And
Can you
I'll
give
land here.
specific dates?
I like
And
where
I'll
Give
you're
wait.
going.
Let
specific
him
dates.
land, bro. Then you can ask your question, bro. He about to
Understand
land.
this. Integration doesn't mean working with a white man necessarily, right? What integration also meant was being able to take your baby to the closest hospital, right? It was literally a
Negro, we
simple.
have hospitals still to this
Sammy, bro,
very
let
day.
him finish,
Cut
bro. We
it
about to
out.
land.
Never mind. Never mind.
No,
He
I get your
said the
point.
Freedmen's Bureau did not entail all of the southern states that belong to the Confederacy for a period of at least 11 years was totally controlled by black people, men and women. You had all
Was
of
that
the
a
governors, the senators,
That's Stone Cold
representatives,
Goofy,
all
bro.
controlled
that
the
was a
South.
state? That was a
That's
state?
Stone Cold
And
Goofy.
these were the abandoned states of the Confederacy. This was a period of time before we got the 14th Amendment. The
So which
14th
states was
Amendment,
that?
these
I
was
want to know, bro.
all of the Confederate states, Tennessee,
All of the
Texas,
states
all
were
of them.
Pick a
were
state.
abandoned.
All of the,
Pick a
I'm talking about
time
all of
period.
the
I'll show
formerly
you a white
Confederate
governor.
states.
Could I
So
get
But
so hold on. Let me understand you,
Pick
bro.
a
You saying
state.
all of
Pick a
you saying
time
all of
period. I'll
former
show you a white governor.
all of the former
bro,
Confederate
See how they
states
talking identity
belong to the blacks.
politics?
Now, what
all of them?
happened was
Okay, go ahead.
what happened was after we got the 14th Amendment, that meant all of our territory was now under the jurisdiction of the United States. That's how we became U.S. citizens. And this is the same reason that Africans can get U.S. citizenship with their babies. The 14th Amendment. He's saying, why didn't you have states? We could have just stayed autonomous and not became 14th Amendment citizens, but where would you be right now?
So you saying that? I mean, I don't know if that's true because
Look it up, the
That's
Freedmen's
not
Bureau.
true, bro.
no. What I'm saying
Look
is
it
that
up.
what let me explain to you so you can understand what I'm trying to tell you, bro. You saying that these states literally were like autonomous. That after the Civil War, that
They were
somehow
not under the jurisdiction of the United States. At the time, they
by
were
who?
stateless,
By
and the
what
Freedmen's
order
Bureau
though?
was protected by the federal
You,
army.
bro,
They was all
what I'm
controlled by blacks.
All right.
and you saying listen to what I'm saying, bro, because we about to get into nonsense. I can hear it. I can hear it already. You saying that they were protected by the federal army, but it was not part of the jurisdiction of the United States. Is that
It
right?
wasn't because it was controlled by the black slave, the former slave.
But I'm
We wasn't
asking you, who
physical.
was enforcing this? You saying the federal army? Is that right?
They protected it. The federal
Protected
army
it.
protected it
This
from
is
the
embarrassing.
from the former rebels because after Abraham Lincoln got assassinated, Andrew Johnson, the next president, gave pardons to all of the Confederates. All of them was free. So they had to protect us from them. This was before the Ku Klux Klan. This was a period
Andrew
between
Jackson?
Andrew
Damn.
Johnson. Andrew Johnson was the vice president of
Let me
Abraham
ask you a
Lincoln.
question, bro.
And he gave pardons to all of the
I
Confederate
need
How
to
soldiers.
make
long
a
after the
statement here.
Civil
Look,
War
I'll let
was
you speak.
Juneteenth?
He's gone to him. Now he's gonna go back to you. You're gonna be long-winded. I'll need to respond to what you said.
But you
Go
don't
ahead,
know
Willie. What's
what
up,
we're
bro?
talking
If
about.
you
Go
will
ahead,
accept,
Lewis. What's up?
right?
What's
If
up,
you
Lewis?
brothers and sisters will accept a brother who's a big fan of our African American brothers and sisters, if you would accept my opinion, get for a sec. Okay, I know according to prophecy, most of our people are going to be in the place of Babylon, which is America. Okay, I know that. I'm not going to go against that. But having said that, okay, we have our mind, we have our brain, we have some amount of liberty. I think what the brothers and sisters in America, those who want to stay in America, should be fighting for, okay, is a state, 4 or 5 states that are permanently black and run and controlled, like individual countries in Africa. That's what you should be fighting for, because it's quite
No.
clear. Listen to me. You
That's
have
what
never
you do
fought
in
for that.
Africa.
Let him finish, bro. Let him at
You've
least
Why
never
get his
y'all
fought
point
haven't
for
out.
been
that.
successful.
Okay, you've
Willie, you
never
can't
fought
cut him
for
off,
that.
bro.
You will still be
I've
under
been getting cut
America.
off all day,
Okay?
bro.
You
Bro,
will
you've been talking
still,
all day. Let him finish.
let me finish my point. You will still be under America because you like being under the white man and the protection of the nuclear bomb and all the rest of it. That's fine.
See?
Okay, you will
This one
still
I be
have
ready
that.
to crash
You will
out.
still have that. But you have 4 or 5 states you can run and
This
control.
one I
And
gotta
the
go with
people in
FBA.
position of power will be black
Man,
permanently.
get out of here. You a
That's
New
what you
Yorker. I
should be
can't
fighting
stand
for.
you.
I'll tell you what. Would you be willing to give us 4 or 5 states in Africa?
No, I'm talking about America. Let's
Oh,
keep it
America.
there. Don't cool. Keep it
You
on the
want us
white
to do
man.
this? You don't want to give us 4 or 5
No,
states in Africa, though.
no. Okay, listen, all right, we'll
can't.
have that conversation. I'll
can't.
answer that one. If you want to answer that, answer that. Listen,
Because of tribalism, no one group owns anything.
Listen, let me just answer the brother
Nobody's
for
in
a
a
minute.
position to
No,
offer us
right,
anything.
let me just answer the brother a minute. He said, are we willing to do that in Africa? You damn right we're willing to. We got the land, but are you organized enough to go to the African Union and
You
ask?
just got a super chat.
What Dinah?
Dinah, she gonna read the super chat or you sleep, bro?
Yeah, he's sleeping. U.S. was
I'll
founded
read
by
it.
what?
It's a
The
white
U.S.
nation.
was founded by WASP.
Yeah.
It's a white nation. Just because Crispus Attucks died in the American Revolution didn't replace or change the
The founders.
founders. So
Right.
he was clearly listening to me because I brought up Crispus Attucks. So salute to the chat, right?
Okay, but you didn't answer the question. Why are you
Salute
not
to
fighting for your
JC
own state?
and hit the
Why are you
like
not
button,
fighting
share, and
for
I'll
your own
subscribe,
answer you
y'all.
very simply. I'll answer you very simply,
Go
right?
ahead, brother.
There is a reason why America is the only Western nation on earth that has seen a black leader, right?
Oh,
That
please.
didn't. Can I finish?
Please.
Can I finish? You're triggered,
Please,
I
brother.
know,
Please.
but you went a long time. Can I
Please. He
respond?
didn't do nothing for black people.
Can I
Because
respond?
you know he would have got his head shot
Can
if
I
he done it with black
respond?
people.
And we'll talk about that after. Can I just finish my premise? Please. Please, brother, I want to talk to you. Right? So here's what I'm saying. We're the only nation in the Western world, right? In this colonialistic empire, right? That have literally put a black man at the head of office. There's a reason for that. It's because we didn't segment ourselves to one small area, right? We're spread out
That's
across
why you don't
America.
get no respect from other black people. Because you refuse to run
No,
your
we
own
get more
shit.
respect than you do.
Okay? You
Our
refuse
babies
to
can't
run
eat
hear
your
him.
own
starving.
shit. You want
Our
to be
babies
under
are
the knife
Hey,
like all
pre-diabetic.
the
bro,
white
Our
houses.
babies
bro.
eat way too well. We get respect. More respect than
No,
you and
brother.
your
You being
people.
cowardly. That's
If you want to
cowardly, bro.
crash out, let's
That's
crash out.
cowardly. I'm telling
See
you
how
why
y'all
I'll
you're
allow
be
him to
more
cowardly.
play
FBA
both
than the best
sides on this
FBA.
panel?
You want to
Lewis, you
crash
should
out? Let's
One
crash
day
out.
he FBA,
Fuck
the
it.
Lewis, you
next
should have
second
more
he pan
decorum
African.
as an elder though,
Bro,
for
I'm
real.
trying to hold back,
Like you
but
should
let
have
me
more
go
decorum.
for question, bro.
Because I'm coming to him in sincerity, good terms. I'm not trying to argue with him. I'm trying to kind of school him on our reality, right? So I
No,
get his
I
point.
get what you're saying,
I
bro.
get
Even if
his
I don't
point,
agree,
right?
yeah, I
I
get
get
what
his
you're
point.
saying.
We should segment ourselves and just take over something and just call it black, right? But what
But the thing,
black Americans in our situation understood was that it was more beneficial to infuse ourselves in the overall makeup of America, right? That's why we get the success of being able to say we are the only country, right, that's put a black man in office. That didn't
Oh,
come from us segmenting ourselves off.
Bro, that's
We're
Barack
nothing to boast
ingrained in this
Obama.
about.
culture in
That's
America,
in the bigger
right?
scheme of things. That's nothing to boast about. Okay, that was the
You
white
said
man give
what?
you. That was the white man throwing you a little bone or something. Okay, that's
I
Yeah,
not
ain't got no
bro.
little bone.
nothing.
Barack
My money
Obama's an
long.
embarrassment, man.
My
No,
money
Talking in the
man.
weird
long.
shit.
When
No.
I went to Ghana, I tipped well. My money
Why didn't you
long.
stay there?
I'm doing well in America.
Why didn't you stay there,
You
sir?
never went to Ghana, man.
Shut your bitch ass up. I ain't stay there because
Why
you
didn't you
have no
stay there?
control. Because I have more control here than you do. That's
Why
why I
didn't you
didn't stay.
stay in Ghana? It
Because
has
I
all
have
that
more
beautiful
control
culture,
here
all
than
those
you do.
beautiful
That's why.
structures, all that beautiful history. Why didn't you stay there in
I
beautiful
just
Ghana?
told you. Because I have not only more
Sammy,
power than
have you
you,
ever been out of the country,
but
bro?
over most whites. I have more power than most whites economically.
I'm
I'm in a
asking,
Oh,
I'm
better
asking,
position than
I'm
most
asking
white
Sammy
people
why
in
he's
America.
trolling, bro. Have you even been out of the
Yeah.
country, Sammy?
who's
No, he ain't
Sammy?
never been nowhere.
You are.
Is like Uncle Sam?
In the high
Ain't your
castle.
name Sam?
You know he ain't never been
No,
nowhere.
my name is the Man in the High Castle. But I like
All right.
Uncle Sam. That's awesome.
Your name is Sam, I thought. But go ahead, bro.
No,
Have you
it's
been?
the Man in the High Castle.
Okay, I can't. Whatever, bro. Have you been out of the country?
Take your bath first.
Absolutely.
Where to where?
You took too
Been to
long. Where you want to see
Mexico.
me
You
at?
got caught that easy in a lie, bro.
I've been
That's
to
crazy.
Mexico. I've been
Where
to
you want
all
to see
those
me at?
countries. I've been to
All of them? That's a lie,
yep.
bro.
I've been to
Oh, you been
Iceland.
there?
Nah, you busted already,
You been
bro.
there?
I've been to
You
Iceland.
been to
I've
Chichen
been
Name the
Itza?
to Canada.
name the city you went to in
Stop the
Iceland. I'm
cap.
curious.
Stop the
Reykjavik.
cap.
I don't
I'll
believe you.
walk you all
Yeah.
around the earth in my profile pics.
Yeah.
You're lying.
Yeah, he's
Right?
lying. I don't
I've
believe
been
That's
to these
Hawaii right
places
there.
I've
Right?
been to
Where else you want to
Iceland.
go? You
Uh
want to go to London? That's me in London.
One last
Where else
one.
you want to
You
go?
got
I've been to
Hey, yo, anybody know who Eric Adams is? Right? That's me
Adams,
with
yeah.
my arm around his neck like
I've
he
been
my
to
little homie.
Sardinia.
Yeah,
Is he from
I'm
New
like
York?
that in America.
Man?
bro. Cut it out, Willie. Just stop.
So I've
Yo,
been
I
to
be having
Italy,
the
obviously,
trash,
you
bro.
know.
I be trying to
That's
be
about
humble.
it.
Just stop.
Is that enough?
You got no pictures from
Why didn't you
Ghana?
stay there?
As I was a young kid at those times.
So
I
why didn't you
didn't
stay?
it was just a
See how
vacation.
stupid that shit sounds?
Just a
See how
vacation.
stupid that shit sounds?
Just a
That's what you
vacation.
sound like.
Just a
That's what you
vacation.
sound like.
The young kid is just a
You know he
vacation.
capping, bro.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen, can I ask you guys something? What's the weather like
It's
in
a stupid
America now?
argument.
I heard you guys are snowed in.
Nah, the snow melted.
So
About
when it
2
comes
weeks
down
ago.
to segregation, there was millionaires in segregation, and there was millionaires in integration.
Nah, bro, I'm from New York. I'm from Harlem, right? But
Okay,
I
so
am
Yeah,
now
yuppie
I
ass
am now
Harlem,
a black gentrifier. So
gentrified
I'm
Harlem, yuppie.
gentrifying white HOAs, right?
No,
Trying to
you're
bring
not.
in as many black folk as I can, right?
No, you're not. You have no control over
I'm a black
Mandani.
gentrifier.
Mandani running
Now I got a
shit
lot of
to the
control.
ground.
I
You
built
about
my
to
home
flee
from
out
the
New York.
ground
You
up.
about to flee New York. You know it.
You looking toward the ground. I built my
You
home from
about
the
to flee
ground
New
up.
York. Sharia laws out there
Yeah.
in New
I heard
York. You know
I
that.
heard that man Danny might do a what they call it, city to city with Accra or whatever it's called. What they call it? When
I ain't got no issue with Mondani.
Cause he's one of
He
them.
actually went to
he
my high
lived
school.
there before. He was
He
adopted.
actually, the high school that Mondani went to, it actually produced Stokely Carmichael. Fun fact.
Okay.
That's my high
Okay.
school. Yeah.
So
I'm
he
like
lived in
that.
Ghana. He lived in Ghana for
My
Africa.
friends,
You're
my
not like
friends
that, bro. You don't
accomplishment.
even go outside, bro. Stop that.
Yeah. I'm
Now I
like
look
that.
at that snow, I get scared, man. New York, Canada, forget that, bro.
New York is full of beta males, man. You know that. Stop and frisk created beta males.
So
You
who's the man
always
where
see
you from?
you see New York.
And where
You
you
see New
from?
York how they deal with the police out
And
there.
where you
What they
from?
always tell the police to do to them.
And where you from?
Who's that?
Damn sure not New York.
I know.
All right,
Right.
soft
You're
hitting
not
New York.
man enough to stand on where
New
you
York's
from.
so soft.
I'm
You know it. Your
proud I'm
women are
from
always
Harlem,
fleeing from New York.
right? Where I'm from, we
Your women
dictate
are
black
fleeing from New
culture.
York. You
We
call
are the
AS.
heart
You
of
call
black culture,
ACS on
where
your
I'm
baby
from.
mama. You
Queen
call up
Mother Moore,
AS.
Queen
You
Mother
call up
Moore take
ACS on
lint
your baby
out my
mama because
hair.
she fled from New
You'll
York.
never have that
Got a
experience.
real brother. You know that.
And what's Donnie sleeping?
Let them sleep. Let the show go on.
Yeah, Don, it's just time to close up, man.
Chill. Let's cook.
If y'all can't stick to the topic, bro, and at least try to mention some things that's
What's the
like,
name of the
you know what I
topic,
mean?
sir?
It's no point in him just trolling and just
What's
arguing
the
and
name of
coming
the
with
topic, sir?
nonsense.
You
One more
right, bro.
time
I
from the side.
tried.
Black man
I
laughs at
tried,
Pan
bro.
Africans for moving to Africa. Here's why.
Hey guys, let me read this
You start
super chat real
first.
quick.
Yeah,
You
Let's
so he
start
see.
laughed
first.
at specific
Thank you for
points.
499
There was
holla.
specific.
I'm reading money. You guys got to be quiet. JC, thank you for 499 holla. U.S. was founded by WAPs.
I
It's
read
a
that
white
one.
nation. Just because Crispus Attucks died in the American Revolution didn't change the founders. Okay, thank you.
I read that one. I'm the one that brought up Crispus Attucks, so I understood where he was going with that. I just don't think people accept how well some blacks in America are doing, right? That's the fallacy.
We've been
Many of
doing
us,
well economically since segregation. Millionaires popping off in segregation. Millionaires were popping off in slavery, bro.
well, not we, because me and you are
Yeah,
two
there was
different people.
free brothers
You're
and
FBA,
sisters
I'm
who
African American.
turned millionaires while slavery was still happening.
Yeah, but that's
No, there
not your
weren't. There were no
people.
black
Do you
slaves.
understand? Yeah, there was.
No,
What you
those
talking
are
about,
African
bro?
Americans,
You
brother.
Get the hell
bugging.
out of here.
You
Those are
bugging.
African Americans.
You're bugging. You're on a high or something.
Like
There
I
were no
always take
millionaires
y'all
going
back to
slaves.
the
You
AME
bugging,
church
bro.
in the 1800s,
There was
right?
free brothers and sisters who
My
turned
people,
millionaires
my people
while slavery
identified
was still
themselves.
going on.
Name them.
Yeah,
Name them.
they weren't FBA.
Yeah, they
My
were.
ancestors
Name them.
were
Name
the
them people.
AME church,
Name the first
right?
couple
Oh yeah.
millionaires that was going on at that time.
Madam C.J. Walker.
I knew you were
During
gonna say that.
slavery, I knew he was going to
That's
say
one
that
of them.
too.
That was
That's
after.
one of them.
Come on, man. They
I
just
already
let.
talked about
What
Alexander
Actually,
year?
Manley,
What year did she become a millionaire?
Actually, even
I
Solomon
talked about
Northrop, he was
Alexander
a
McQueen.
millionaire,
Can
and
I
he
ask
was
you guys?
freed while slavery was still going on,
Hey,
and then he
can,
became a slave. He
can
was
I
a
ask you guys a
millionaire
question?
at
Listen,
that
listen,
time.
listen. What's the phenomenon, right, of people like
I'm
Diana
Big
Ross,
Boule.
okay,
Talk to the Boule.
turning their
What you want to
family
know,
into pure
Louis?
white people? All right, phenomenon of Diana Ross and the likes turning their future race into pure white people. Do you think the future of America looks like Brazil?
No. I
Okay.
think the future of America looks like Mexico.
The future, yeah. Yeah,
That's the
that's
white
the
man's biggest fear, that every senator is going to have a Z in their last name.
it's, well,
Sanchez, Lopez,
well,
Rodriguez,
they can't get away from that. Even here in Europe, they can't get away from it. The big fight
AOC,
here,
Cortez, right?
the same argument going on here in England, but luckily I won't be here to look at it for much longer.
It ain't the
That's the
same.
problem.
Where you going? Where you going, Lewis?
Straight back to the continent, brother.
Okay.
I was
I'm
meant to
going
be
to
there. I was meant to be
Guadalajara, bro.
there in about 2 weeks' time, but it's a little
Yo,
delayed.
bro, I'm retiring
Okay,
in
cool.
Guadalajara.
Guadalajara. Is
Yeah.
this Kwame?
While all the Mexicans is coming this way, I'm going that way.
Yeah, you been looking at Mexican women, bro.
Yeah.
When you going to the
Nah, it ain't about
continent?
the women. I'm married, bro. Don't put that smut on my name.
Okay.
When
Me
you
and
going
my
to the
wife are
continent,
going.
Willie?
Huh?
When you going to the continent?
So
Good
so
question.
I've been to Ghana, right? The next
Okay.
trip
I
I
said
really
when,
want to
bro.
do. Huh?
So he's been there
I
already.
said when are you going?
I've already been, right?
So you're not going back?
I had an amazing experience in Ghana.
When
I
do
want
you
to
go?
go
What year?
back. I want to
What
go
year?
back and go to Senegal next.
Okay.
Right.
Who you gonna go with? Dinus? Dinus got a nice truck for you.
Go with my wife. We
So,
travel the world.
Malidoma Some, the brother, Dagara brother from Burkina Faso, he passed away. He had his wife, Sombamfu. I know you guys, he's pretty well known. I don't know if you guys heard of him. He wrote several books.
Another man.
Where's he from?
Burkina Faso. He's
Okay.
from the Dagara people.
Uh-huh.
So he wrote a book, but he lectured in Harlem in the 90s. He's done several lectures in Harlem back in the early
At the
90s.
Schomburg.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
So,
with you, bro.
okay. So
I know
he
my
said,
history.
okay,
Man,
so
shut
Proud
up,
of it.
man.
what
I've
he
been to
said was,
Schomburg. It's a nice library, though.
yeah, it's a nice library. So what he said though is that he went back home, and now he's deep in the religion, in his spirit, in his tradition, and he said that he went to these caves where the ancestors, dwell or whatever, and he had this experience where the ancestors actually, I want to say there was a physical appearance of them, but they gave him a message, and they told him to tell the people that the brothers and sisters in the diaspora, and I don't know if he said the United States specifically, are going to return Exodus back to Africa in mass. And so this was a prophecy that came to him, and he's sharing this with folks in Harlem, that this is what happened. And so as we're more and more we're moving to the continent, it reminds me every now and then of what he said.
Yeah.
But so, brother, I'll put it to you like
we're
this,
gonna go back
right?
to the wilderness before we go to
Real
the
quick,
real.
I'll put it to you
Israel.
like
So
this,
we'll be
right?
back in
When we became our own people, when our ethnogenesis happened, right, was when we became the Negro problem, right? And white folk wanted to ship us back to Liberia or Sierra Leone or wherever they could send us, right? Most Black Americans, the overwhelming majority of my ancestors said, nah, I'm good. I'm going to figure it out right here. I'm going to play the blues in Mississippi. I'm going to get on a train car and go to Harlem and go to Small's Paradise, right? At that point, we became somewhat disconnected from the continent. We always still had reverence for where we came from. That's why when Black people were defining themselves, 1800s, you get the African Methodist Episcopal Church, right? So I'm saying that decision was made a long time ago. Most of us are not going back to
Got
live.
it.
All right. Having
Got it.
said that,
Having
So
said
right?
can
that,
I
brother,
But
respond?
we're
Can I
not
respond?
against
Our
commerce.
you're not
grandparents
being that
would
bad in
always
America
tell to
then.
us, we not African. You have to understand that.
Right.
And
Listen,
another thing, our grandparents and our great grandparents, they would have told us, hey, our ancestral name in Africa, these are our cousins. This is
How
their
would they know
names.
that?
they
They,
couldn't, they were forced
exactly.
out of it. They
There is no
couldn't
Right.
do it.
such thing of that. We were
Well,
But
always
we knew
here.
where
but
we were from.
there is such
We were
thing as
already name your African ancestor.
so
We
there
knew
are
where we
such
were
things
Being
from.
out of it.
Who's
as
your African
people.
ancestor, sir?
There are such things as people that I have met in California who told me their grandmother spoke. An older elderly woman told me this. Spoke an African language. A brother
Tiffany
that's my
Haddish
age
told you
from
this shit?
From Louisiana. Her grandmother was from Louisiana. She
Go.
spoke an African language.
Go.
Another brother my age uh, told me that his grandmother, he's from New Orleans, and he grew up there till he was 14 and moved to Arizona. He said this grandmother told him, "Don't ever forget that we come from the Congo."
Correct.
Mhm.
Okay,
That's
and
where the
then in
Gullah
my
people are from.
family, there was never any talks about any Indians that I knew. I talked to my sister the other day
Correct.
about it. There was, she said, yeah, there was a little talk of Indians, but then my sister did the DNA. My older sister did the DNA test, and she had 1%, 1 or 2% Native American.
Right.
So, boom. Now, my mother does talk about stuff that her grandmother did in Opelousas, Louisiana, and she was born in the late 1800s, and the stuff that she did points to not Native American at all. Points
Right.
to African things that she did. So
That's our
even though
history.
they may not have said they were African or Indian, but they did say they did certain things. And now we look at those things and we can say, oh, okay, your clothes is on backwards. It's Buddha Baye. Or you go to sleep. You what do they say? You go do do. That's what the Haitians I think say.
Okodada.
Go
Okodada.
do do, go to sleep.
Yeah,
I
we
So
say
go
the
there's
down the
same thing.
hill.
there's
Okodada.
little there's these little things that if we
Nothing.
look at these things and we know the kinds of stuff that we know, okay, this is the region that we're from. We know that they took Africans from this
Right.
part of Africa to this region. We can start putting two and two together. But we're
Correct.
not doing that because we don't study. And we
Well,
don't ask the old people shit either. We don't talk to the old people and get information from them. Now a lot of them is gone.
so here's the reality, brother. We have done that, right? We know our history, many of us, right? But we are at a time in 2026 where, unfortunately, because of current political issues, right? And when I'm talking politics, I'm talking black politics, right? Our interactions with our own. Many of us are now shaking that African lineage off. And it's
Right.
unfortunate.
That's the problem. Pause right
It's
there.
unfortunate.
That's the problem. Pause right there. Okay.
Well,
This
well,
is
no,
this
that's
is
not
this
the
is this is
problem.
what gives you away. This is what gives you away because the main thing you go for is to make sure you cut yourself off from Africa. That's I don't have a problem if you want to do
So,
that.
brother, that's
This
not
is what we
true.
Pan Africans have a problem with. You don't mind anything else, but the word Africa, and
So,
that's what the
brother, that's
slave
not
master wanted to
true,
do,
though.
and
Nah,
you're carrying out
bro.
the slave master's wishes.
The
See, here's the
majority of
I
us are
problem.
think
not
it's
Here's
doing
the
that
problem
though.
and why you're being so unbelievably disrespectful to me
Am I
and
being
to my mother and
disrespectful?
father, right?
Why is
I'm
it
going to
that
explain
every
it.
time? Why is it that everything else you want to get rid? You want to keep, but the African?
So, again,
Why is it
let
that
me
the word
explain to
Africa
you.
disgusts you
Let
so much?
So understand who you talking to, right? I
No,
was
no, no,
taught.
no. I know you just
I was
expressing who
slow
I'm
down,
talking to.
slow
I'm just
down. Hear
asking
me
a
out.
simple question.
Hear me out.
Anybody want to tune in? I don't mind, no problem,
So, all
right?
right, let
But
me
the thing is,
respond.
why do
My
you
mother
go
and
out your way to
father,
preserve the
my
one?
Louis.
mother
Let
and
him give his
father.
answer at least,
Now
bro.
listen, I'm gonna express my point at because he's gonna skip around it.
You
But you're
asked him why
wrong,
does he
though,
want to
bro.
disassociate, so we'll hear what his answer
Why
is.
is it always
Right.
Africa you want to disassociate from?
So it's never been my goal to disassociate from Africa. I don't understand how you missed that in all my commentary today. I
That's why I
know
Bro,
want
where
to
my
hold on, Willie.
people.
Before you hold on.
Go
Bro, explain why you just said the part specifically, bro. Don't go into a spiel.
ahead.
The
I
part
got
why
you.
you said they want to shake that part off. Just answer that.
Unfortunately, this is what I'm going to say the reality is, right? 2026, when you look at relations between Black Americans and Africans from the continent, there isn't a connection. That connection has been lost, right? Many Black Americans are upset disenchanted, that we've always been taught to believe in Pan-Africanism. And when many of us fought, right, I'm not going to go into the details, but we fought to open up the doors of America to bring our brothers in because we thought it would benefit our fight. That's not what happened, right? So now everybody's being led by YouTube. So once you hear one African coon, right? We talked about the coon word, right? It only takes one to say, my parents told me not to deal with Black Americans. Black Americans are lazy. Black Americans, Black Americans, Black Americans, right? The reality is, for men like myself who have attained something in life, who can look down on white folk, let alone Africans. I ain't even thinking about y'all, right? Like, I'm competing here in America, right? It does create an angst, right? To see these things online and the rhetoric that's being said. And it also becomes an issue with our parents. Y'all
Okay,
told
so
us,
you're
hold
saying a
on, I'ma
lot.
land here.
Okay, you're saying a lot.
Y'all told us, right, to be
Hey,
Pan-African.
guy, we got to pass the mic. The good king. Go ahead, good king.
Can I just finish the point
Yeah,
though,
bro, we
also,
gotta
Dante?
Yeah,
stop beating around the bush.
we got the point. Go ahead, good king.
Can you hear me, bro?
I hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, we
There was
gotta
one
stop beating
important
around the
thing I
bush,
didn't get
bro.
to
It don't
say,
matter.
brother. It was
Hold up,
one
bro. It don't
sentence.
matter how much money you make in America as a black man until we control some territory here. None of that shit matters. You ain't Bob
Amen.
Johnson. You ain't
That's
Skip
crazy.
Gates. You ain't got more
Amen.
money than them, and they still go through the same shit we go through. As long as the white
Amen,
man
brother.
got the numbers, he gonna control the government, the resources, and everything else here, bro. That
That's
shit
not
does
my
not matter.
reality,
None of that
brother.
shit you was talking about. That's
That's not
the
my
reality
reality,
for our
brother.
race, bro, and our ethnic group.
Yep.
As an
Amen.
I
individual,
have a
Willie, you
white
may be
caddy
doing
named
good.
Joshua.
You might be doing good
That's
as an
not my reality.
individual, Willie. I
We're
know,
not talking about
not
your
your reality,
reality as an individual. We're
as an
talking about our
individual.
ethnic group reality,
Let's
bro.
Right. That's a difference. It's a difference. And also you said a lot, Willie. You said a lot. You're very dense. You talk very densely with a lot of information. And I just want to say that in the context of the big picture, that there's not a lot of Pan-Africanists among the 50 million or whatever we are. There's a very small amount of
In
us. So when you say,
2026, I agree.
I'm saying, at any time period, when I was young, now I would say maybe when Garvey was really popular at his highest, then yes, you that at that point there was a lot of Pan Africanists if you were a Garveyite. So yeah, at that point. But as time has gone down, as time has gone on, the more educated we are, the more miseducated we are, and I think that when people are ignorant and don't know, it makes it easy to trigger, to kind of make them trigger one way or the other, or bias in one way or the other by somebody saying something ignorant. But at the same time, most of the 40, 50 million of us don't know about these arguments and don't know about these
I
problems.
agree.
They don't really care one way or the other in many cases, or they will see a black person and say, oh, that's a black person, and will identify with them as such. So even my other brother who's saying, why do y'all, do, no, that's not y'all. All of us are not FBAs or even in that mindset.
Correct.
This is a small amount of us.
And we have to fight
Hey,
back.
bro.
We literally have to fight back domestically in terms of our identity here in America, right? I'm not FBA, right? I can track my lineage back to the 1700s right here in America, right? I'm African American.
Mm-hmm.
My
That's
people
what I want.
defined themselves a long time ago. And what actually happened when everybody asked, are you Igbo? Are you Hausa? Do you know what you're connected to? No, I don't. What ended up happening was my people became their own people. So I'm African American. That is my Igbo.
Yeah.
That is my
Yeah.
Hausa,
Yeah.
right?
And that's the ethnic group we respect.
So why
Okay,
was you
that's the ethnic
crashing
group
out
we
on me?
respect.
Cause we still need our own nation. Yorubas and Igbos got Nigeria. No matter how bad we look at it, they had their own nation.
I
Senegalese
got
got
you.
Senegal. Haitians got Haiti. The African Americans don't have an African American nation.
That's 100% correct. But look at the reality, right? African Americans, because of our connection with America, we doing better. You can't name nobody
Bro,
doing better than
listen.
us.
everything you do is under the control of the white man. He could shut you
No,
off.
that's not true, brother.
You're not making more money than
That's
Kanye West.
absolutely true, bro. We don't control none of the oil
That's
reserves.
like
We
me
don't control the
saying.
shipping here, bro. We don't
That's
control
like me
any
saying that.
resources.
But wait,
If the
that's
white
like me
man gets sick,
saying.
we get sick, bro.
This is it. All you
But
need is
hold
a
on.
racist man in power like that guy who got shot, whatever his name is, and then who's the guy that pitched the Hedgeworth or whatever? You can just look at that guy and tell he's a fucking Nazi. God damn! I mean, you gotta look at Rubio, racist white people. You just have to look at their face.
This is the unfortunate part, Lewis.
Under that.
Lewis, this is the unfortunate part, right? If I was to cast judgment on the continent and all the dysfunction there, I would sound like FBA, right? I could. There's a litany of things I could criticize.
I
right?
know.
So
We can criticize Africa till we blue in the face. That don't give us power, though, bro.
Hear me out. Hear me out. So, I agree with you. That's why I don't do that. But when someone's telling me everything I do as a black man is under the guise of white supremacy, that's just wrong. I can tell
That's
you
a
in
fact.
2000,
Bro, it's a
I
fact.
can tell you, and I'll land here, right? I can tell you just anecdotal experience in my life, right? I'm at a dinner for, the top salespeople. So the white boys finally amped themselves up to come ask me the question, why is your team all black, right? I turned around and looked at them and said, I don't know. I guess for the same reason your team is all white. The point I'm making is, in this American conversation, my name rings bells. I don't know about nobody else, right? But I am not subjugated. I am not in any way in the position that my ancestors were in. Why? Because they fought to put me where I am. And I'm winning. My ancestors are winning through me. It's not as bad over here as people might think. I do very well in life.
When we talk about how we do as individuals, is that the same as
It's not
us
about
talking about being
individuals, bro.
Pan-Africanists and about us doing things when we talking these collective group things, and now you're talking about how well you do? It's a very
Got you.
different conversation.
Got you. So that was a good question, right? Here's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is my reality is still a part of Pan-Africanism. So
brother,
what
listen.
am I doing, right?
Brother.
Like I
listen.
told you, when them white boys came to me, they asked me, why did I only hire niggas? N-words. My bad. I'll send it $2. My bad.
No, hold on, Will. It's 10, and you didn't send the 10 from last
All
time.
right, I'll send. I did so send my
No,
last.
no, you
10.
did not, Will. Will, you
I
did
did
not.
so send my last 10.
No, you did not. No,
I'll
you did
give
not,
you the
Will.
date, Dinus. Don't do that. But I'll
No,
send
no,
this
okay,
10.
give me the date. Give me the date. Give me the date.
I'll look it up. But I'll send
In
this 10.
fact, before you start speaking again, because you got over the last time, please send this. Please send it.
All right, cool.
Listen. Let
Let
me
me
just
get it there.
right. Let me just throw something in right quickly, and don't get upset about this, brother.
And then I want to get back to what I was saying. But
Okay,
I
send
will
it 10. You
say,
get back. You need to get back to cooking. Send it 10.
The Jackson family are one of the most successful in Black history, let alone America. Successful. I look at all the kids of Mike, and you
All right,
trying to
it says
tell me
tariff.
that
All right.
all that wealth is gonna go to white folks. I mean, come on, is that the future?
That doesn't define us, my brother.
No, bro, I'm sorry. That's the top of the tree, brother.
No,
What do you
it's
mean,
not.
bro?
I
Bro,
can
I'm
give you
glad you say
someone.
don't define you,
I
but
can give
listen,
you someone that
let me tell you
made.
something.
I
When
can
you
give
talk
you
about success,
someone that made
when
more
you
money
talk
than
about
Michael
success,
Jackson that
bro,
has
come on.
a black wife, right? LeBron
Listen to me,
James,
bro.
right? That don't apply to LeBron, right? If we're
I understand
shooting
that.
up
LeBron
here,
still got a white boss, bro.
here we
At the
go.
end of the day,
You know that the Brazilian experiment is very much real. You know,
Did
Brazil
you
was
get
an
my money,
experiment.
Dinus?
Receive, but you still
All right.
$10 short. But we'll talk about that.
No,
We'll worry
I'm
about that
not. I
later.
paid that.
No, you didn't, dude. No, you didn't. No, you didn't, Will. No, you didn't.
Check your cash app, Dinus, to see.
I'm checking right now. He didn't pay. He lying. Willie's lying.
But Willie, you talk about how well you're doing, but if you compare yourself to the top, white folks that are in this country, as opposed to just the average
Hold
American.
on. I apologize. He did. I'm sorry, Willie. You're right.
Okay, Willie.
You're right,
Okay,
Willie.
so you
Okay, we're gonna-
reprieve.
Don't pay Dinus no mind. Go ahead, brother.
that the top white folks in this country that are making money own a large amount of the wealth of the world, as opposed to what we may be doing good amongst our own people or amongst the average American.
Right.
And so, or even the average African in the world, how much what you're doing. So when you compare to what is the top in the top of the top, you're not kicking high at all.
I agree 100%, right? But here's the thing, right? When I'm competing against the mass of whiteness in America, right? You can't take away from me. I'm outdoing 80% of them, right? That's progress,
Bro,
right?
you're
This
not. You're
isn't,
not. Stop it.
hold on.
Stop. You're not.
Yo, do you know what the average American makes?
Tell us.
What is it, like 65 grand?
That's probably the average.
Right.
Same
That's a
money.
bonus for me, right? That's an annual bonus, right? So I'm
you're on
not saying that to brag. I'm
What
just
color is
saying
the
that
CEO of your company, bro?
white.
Okay, well, I rest my fucking case, dude. Like, what are we talking about?
So here's the problem, right? When you think like that,
He
right?
knows that. He knows that.
Here's the problem though. When you think like that, you don't understand how America works, right? And you don't understand how other races attain power. Understand this, right? The highest grossing males in America are Asians. Guess what? They work for white CEOs too, but they're doing extremely well here. See, I'm not going to let y'all beat down my success. That was my point earlier,
But
right?
it's not about you.
It's
You
not about
comparing your
you.
It's
success
not
to the
about
success
you.
of
It's
40
about
million
us.
people, bro.
It's about us. And
I
real
got you.
power is when you run shit, when you run your schools and run your community, your city council,
Facts.
that's the real power.
I
And
got you.
own the business. When you own the business and can hire other motherfuckers, that's real power.
Stop right there.
Can
That's the
I,
position I'm in.
Dennis,
Hold
when you
on.
get an
Stop. Hold on, real
opportunity,
quick,
bring
real
me
quick.
in.
Well,
Okay.
hold on. Will, he got 30 seconds. Then I gotta let
Right.
Jagoon go.
So
Then we'll
let's
close
stop
out.
right there, right? That's the thing. I am in that position, right? I just told you the story of white boys asking me, why do you only hire blacks? I'm saying before we get to that point that we control everything, if that's ever possible, I'm making progress right now, right? And I am affecting other black lives. That's Pan-Africanism, right? When I see Tyrone's name or Walmart Tavius or Ogun or whoever, right? I'm hiring you first, right? That's Pan-Africanism.
That's a good thing, brother.
That's us helping us,
That's a good thing.
right?
You know, but we want
So
you to
my
own the
success
company though.
isn't just tied to me.
We want you to own the company though.
I mean,
And
that
then we want to own the land that your
Yeah. Your
storefront
own
is
state.
on.
At least your own
We
state.
want
You
a
don't want.
nation, bro.
Guys, let me pass it to Jagoon. Go ahead, Jagoon.
Good evening, crowd of people. I've been listening for a long time, as I do. I'm not always wanting to come on because it can be a bit heated at times. Not that I can't deal with the heat, but I always like for these kind of platform to behave as a teaching level, that we are offering something of value to our listeners. Now, in my listening to everybody here, I find that we're not speaking about the subject of Pan-Africanism and FBAism and the confusion that FBAism has brought to the table for the Black World Congress, if you like.
I denounce it.
Good.
I'm with you.
Now, in listening, when we're speaking on an individual level, what we've achieved and what we've been able to do in the Western world is good enough. But you see, if you compare, as I was told by my uncle when I was a child, if you compare any one black person to any other ethnicity in the world, one on one, a black man will beat them hands down at anything. When you compare a group of black people to a group of nearly anybody else in the world, we lose out. This is our issue. So when we're speaking on this silly, I'm afraid to say, individualistic level, where we are not seeing the wood for the trees. We're not seeing the wood for the trees. You see, there are a lot of Africans who go to America. Apparently, the Nigerians are the number one
ethnicity in terms of education in America, in terms of
That's
certain
not
wealth.
true.
Well, okay, this is what they said. This is
But
what I've
they're
heard.
doing well. They're
Can I?
doing well.
They're there, bruv. They're there because they're
Yeah, they're
there.
doing well. I agree.
Please don't interrupt unnecessarily.
I'm agreeing with you. Go ahead.
That's still an interruption. Now, I'm listening, as I said, and in my listening, we're not coming together, and we can't seem to understand that we're not coming together.
Correct.
We need to come together, and in our togetherness, we have to tell ourselves the truth. We can't just be depicting ourselves as individuals. It's a more of a delineation, as we like to depict these days, than a collectivism. Collectively, we've got a job to do. We've got work to do. There are people complaining about the state of Africa and how it's underdeveloped. Yes, we know it's underdeveloped. Yes, we know we need development. Yes, we understand that there's corruption in the land that keeps us underdeveloped. So those who are first movers, those who have bravity, those who have skills and can come into Africa and set a new standard, we welcome that. Those who want to complain and drag us back, fuck off. Just go away. Why are you coming to the table to speak idiotic disputes that don't alleviate our position? You see, we're always having the wrong conversation. We're having a conversation, it's coming like wanking, if you know that word as Americans.
I know
It's coming like
wankers.
that. We're just topping ourselves off. We're supposed to be becoming strong. But you see, in listening to a man like Willie, I'm afraid, my brother, you don't seem to appreciate where we are in the world as a collective. You as an individual, you can be as big as you wish, but if you cannot affect change amongst the masses, then you do only for yourself. You
But I
don't.
am though.
Wait, let me land. Let me land. I'm not saying that working for somebody is a bad thing. You know, we need to create capital. But me as an individual, if I want to compare myself with you in this UK that I'm in, I haven't worked for anybody for 30 years. I haven't worked for anybody because I've understood the system I'm in, and I've understood how to create money and how to create wealth. And in this, I bring my people together. But my ideology is Africa. My ideology is Africa. In that, I know that when I get on a plane and I go to Africa, the plane is now full of Europeans, of Chinese, and of people from different spheres. I was a minority on the plane on my way to Nigeria the last time I went. And I was just looking around at the kinds of foreigners that were coming in. And the kinds of foreigners were coming were strictly ordinary people. When I was a youth and I used to go to Nigeria with my parents back home, I was seeing only the elite of the European. I wasn't even seeing any other ethnicity apart from the European and largely black people, Nigerians specifically. So in this, I'm thinking, what's going on? What's happening? What's happening is that the world is looking for Africa, apart from the Africans. Apart from the Africans, this is a statement of fact. Now, Africa has made a tumultuous amount of errors. I will be the first to tell you that. I'll be the first. In our errors, we have learned a lot. Many of us, not all of us, many of us. This creates an opportunity to galvanize our spirits, our minds, our energies. If we are not for that kind of push, drive towards changing our own state for our own selves, then I'm afraid we are all here dragging ourselves down. We are all here complaining about things that other people aren't complaining about. When I listen to the emotional imbalance that African Americans, FBA particularly, have, I'm ashamed, because what it is that you are so emotive, you can't be spoken to.
Who's you?
Whoever complete this is why I'm saying there was a guy earlier from England.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah. I got you.
I think it was Ghanaian. He said that the Lebanese have been coming into certain parts of Africa and winning, and they go to the depths of where there is money. That's where they go. And wherever it is, the desert, the interland, the place without electricity, the place without road, they go there. Meanwhile, African Americans are, oh, it's not comfortable. Oh, is there running water? Oh, rubbish. Rubbish. All you're dealing with is your soft life that white people have given you in the Americas and anywhere
See,
else in the world that you would like to think of.
this is when
You
you've
know,
gotten disrespectful.
well, my brother, if you let me
That's not
land,
disrespectful. How's that disrespectful, brother?
I'm
land,
explaining after he
brother.
lands.
Bro, yeah, let me land. This is what I'm saying. You guys are so soft, so weak, so tender. Everything is disrespect. You can't be spoken to, is what I'm saying. You can't be spoken to. The truth cannot come out for you. The truth is too much for you. And for those kinds of people, stay in America. Stay there, deal with the Americans.
Did we lose him?
Y'all good?
Yeah, because I'd love to respond to that, but I'm going to wait till he lands. Jagoon,
Let
you there?
let me land, please.
Yes,
There
sir.
is no African tethering with Americans. The thing that Africans have for the Black Americans is a level of misunderstanding. I'll give you that. But it's still a level of respect in what you've been able to achieve over the last 400 years. Whether you like it or not, we respect that. We as Africans respect what the Black American has done for the Black world in its entirety. You understand? But because you people in the ghetto are so soft and weak, everything is affecting you. You can't think. You're not thinking. All you're doing is speaking about your idiotic selves. That's not good enough, my brother. Me
All right, let me
personally,
respond to you.
respond in a minute. Me personally, I cannot respect that. I cannot respect your weakness because it doesn't strengthen me. Your weakness does not strengthen me. You understand? What strengthens me is what Africans, Americans have been able to establish in a country full of foes, in a country where they have enmity all around them. They have enemies. Yet still, your enemies seem to be you're closer to you than those who look like you. I land there for the moment.
All right, so I do want to respond to that, right? Here's the reality, right?
The reality,
To
what I said was not a
to,
reality.
hold
You're
on,
laughable.
hold on. To
Yes,
your
sir.
criticism of African Americans, right? Here's our reality, right? We live in a global society now, right? I can literally, as the Black American in the place where I'm in, and with the conglomerate of other Black men like myself, we can choose to invest anywhere in the world we want, right? So now, for all of your angst towards me and how you don't respect me as a
No, no,
Black
no.
American,
No,
hold
I'm
on,
not dealing with
let me
individuals.
land. I
No,
didn't say a word when you were
I was
speaking,
gonna
bro.
be quiet, but
I didn't
you are
say a
now.
word when you were speaking, bro.
You said many words. Shut up. Don't be silly.
All right, talk
Don't
some
lie.
more.
Don't lie.
Hey, Jagoon, we can't. I mean, come on, man. Tell another
No, but I
man.
don't want someone lying. I said a rounded thing,
Tell
and
the
he's
man.
telling me that I was disrespecting him as an individual. I was not. I was telling
Yes,
you about your
He
four.
said the ghetto. He doesn't
I am
respect
telling
folks
you
in the ghetto.
those things were disrespectful to me. Now, if you are this brother that you claim that I should work with going forward, you should respect the fact that I'm simply saying to you, right? I didn't crash out. I said, I found
Whatever that
what you
means.
just said disrespectful, right? So, what I'm not going to do is crash out and tell you about your country, right? What I'm going
What
to do is
for?
crash out and tell you about my success. And with my success and the success of Blacks like myself, right? Many of us are doing extremely well right here, right? So we don't
Good.
have to go back anywhere. My
No, you don't.
focus,
And we
let me
still gotta
finish,
pay
let me
taxes to
finish.
the white man. That's what you not
Can I
understanding, bro. We
finish?
can do all make all the money
Can I
here. We
finish?
still gonna have to pay taxes to this
So I
white
can't
government,
finish.
bro.
What does that mean? They're
Go
paying
ahead.
taxes in
That
Africa
mean we
to
not in
France.
control.
They're paying taxes in Africa to France.
So land, go ahead and land, Willie,
Most of them
so the
use
next person can
Frankish,
go.
right?
What are you talking about,
Currencies.
bro? We're
Here's
not
the
all
reality, right? You can have all the lack of respect for me that you want.
Thank you.
You are not on my radar. I have the fortunate position of being an American.
Oh
I
my
can
God.
look down on earth, even as a black man, right? I can look down on earth. I don't need none of you, right?
What does that
I
mean?
can determine my own way in this world, right? So
You a
when you want
radical
to
integrationist,
understand,
bro. You're not a Pan African.
hold on, I
So
want to say
can I
something
respond
important.
after you finish? Go ahead,
I want
Willie.
to say
Finish.
something important,
Can you
right?
land, please, Willie?
Get started. Y'all didn't ask Ogun to land. Like, I didn't
Hey,
even get
brother,
started.
You
listen,
didn't just get started. You've
Someone
been
else can go, and
brother,
I'll go
you
after
might,
everyone has
no. Go
spoken.
brother,
ahead and land,
listen,
Willie. Go ahead and
listen,
land.
listen, brother,
Let
you
Willie
might have
land.
the
Let
cash,
Willie land.
brother, you might have the cash, but you can't cash in your face. Those are the words from brother Steve Wonder, and you ain't got more money than him, brother.
So if I can go, then I would just say, Willie, it was a little condescending, the spirit in which you presented. I would say that it's not easy to get criticism, even though someone may have a little bit of a twangy nastiness on it, a little bit.
Can I go
I know,
next, bro?
I know you felt that,
Right.
but there is some constructiveness in that criticism, and to be free from resentment and receiving and say, okay, I hear what you're saying. And because I do hear what he's saying, although I would have something to say about it. And for me, the most constructive thing to say is that we've got a lot of work to do on this side with educating our people, our brothers and sisters in the ghetto. As well, we have a lot of work to do on the continent, because I think the bigger danger than FBAs in the United States is the people that are running the continent now, the black folks, the leadership that is corrupt, that is doing the damage for Pan-Africanism. That's a bigger hindrance than FBAs in the United States, the
Now let us go.
5,000 FBAs in the United States for
Some of us in those
Pan-Africanism.
positions are Pan-African.
No. That was
Let us
firstly, we
work.
have to really commend
Hey,
that
well, hold on. Let Shaw speak. Because as Red, have you spoken yet, Red?
brother who just spoke. I commend what you said. I really do. You're somebody who listens.
Hold on, John. I'm asking him. Red,
Yeah.
let me just Red. Red,
Can I speak after Red, Dennis?
Red. You there, Red? Okay, Red's not there.
All right. So without being interrupted, right?
Okay,
Again,
I acquiesce.
Shaw's still speaking. Go ahead, Shaw.
Thank you for letting me submit. I'll land right there.
Hold on, Red. Are you there,
Yeah,
Red?
yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead,
You hear
Red.
me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, brother.
Unmute yourself, Red.
Okay, yeah. Well, one thing I gotta say is, man, yeah, we do got a lot of catching up to do as, Black Americans, FBAs, whoever you want to call us. But the truth is, I mean, if you live in America, you're doomed. This is just not our problem. Why do you think the white tea man want to control? Because it spread it like crack. Everything they do to us is spread. It's going to happen to the Muslim woman that comes to the United States. It's going to happen to whoever comes to the United States. Their female is going to get out of control, and I land my plane.
so what's so hard for me, right, as a Black American in the position that I'm in, right, is to have Africans tell me my reality or my future.
There
When
we
you
go.
guys go,
Softness.
when you got,
Start crying. Why don't you start
God
crying? Where's the violins?
damn,
Where's the
bro.
violins at?
I'm not crying.
You are crying.
I'm trying not to shit on you,
You can do
right?
what you want, bro.
So
But
let
I'm
me
I'm
not trying
not
to
an
finish.
argue with
African, bro.
Allow
I'm
me
a
to
Black
finish.
American, and I'm telling you the same thing, bro.
Allow me to finish, right? What I'm saying is simply this, right? Me as a Black American, my friends, right? My lodge, right? We don't need nobody but
You're
us,
repeating
right?
yourself.
It's because you keep cutting me off.
Nah, you
No, brother.
already
Because
said that, bro. We
I
you've
already
didn't
you've got
understand where
interrupt
you
nothing
you a
to
coming
say.
from, bro.
single. I'm
You've got
trying
nothing
to
of
just
value
get
to
my
say.
conversation out, but I didn't interrupt none of y'all.
There we
You
go.
So
interrupted
you want me to
everybody,
crash
bro.
out? Fine, I'll go there, right? Y'all have nothing to offer me as a Black American,
You
right?
don't know that.
There's
You
no
don't know that.
reason for me to come over there and invest in nothing. I could just put
Cool.
that money in Apple. This
Good.
is my reality, right?
Very
Like, I understand your angst and your fear of colonization and white supremacy. But like I said, right? Me as a Black American, I
Nah.
put a Black man in office in the only Western imperial nation on earth. I know a
Well,
lot of
we
y'all
put
don't
black
And
people
what
respect
did
it.
it do
office
for
everywhere,
us,
Let me
bro?
every
What
day,
does
finish.
that
every
mean?
year.
Right, right.
What did it do for us? What did Obama being
I
in
like
office
to
do?
What Obama did
I was gonna finish.
is allow for homosexuality and LWGTXYZ
Amen.
bullshit to enter the world. That's what you voted for. You idiot. I'm sorry. I have to just say that because what you're telling me is rubbish.
I
You're
voted for
not telling me
economic
anything
empowerment.
of gravitas.
There's a
You're
reason
not
my
telling me
children will
anything
always do
that
better
improves our
than
lot.
95% of the children on the continent. Right?
What? Idiot. What
Yeah, you heard
rubbish.
that? My
Bro, you can't
children,
be a Pan African with the
my
talking points that you
no,
have,
I
bro.
can.
Willie,
No,
But
you
when
man.
can't,
people are
bro.
attacked, hold
You
on,
are a radical
hold
integrationist, and I'm a
on.
black American, bro.
Because I've
I'm
been
not a
very
continental
cool.
African.
So I don't think you understand the attack that we were under, right?
What attack? What attack, bro?
No, you just sensitive, bro. Like,
No,
bro,
I'm
I don't
not
give a fuck
sensitive.
about an African talking
I'm
about
not
the
sensitive.
people being in the ghetto is emotional, bro. That don't have nothing
I'm
to
not
do
in the
with
ghetto,
us
brother.
controlling resources in America, bro.
I'm a black gentrifier.
But you're from the
I am
ghetto.
gentrifying white HOA
But
communities
you're from the
as
ghetto.
we speak.
Right, you're from
Yes,
the
I
ghetto
am.
though. All
Yes,
right. So then
I am.
that's you, that's who you were made, you that made your personality and you who you
Correct.
are.
Correct.
That culture. So I think a bigger problem is even really and I'm going to say this you're not going to like it, but some of y'all is the Abrahamic religions, is the corruption, is the and then the Europeans behind stirring up and instigating and pushing, the what instability and the corruption. They're aiding and abetting in that, pushing it.
You
There's
know,
nothing
you
wrong
know
with
what's the good
Abrahamic
thing about
religion,
this
bro. That
conversation
doesn't
for
make
me,
you a
my
Christian.
brother? It puts things into perspective, right? It literally clears the field and drives me forward in my initiative, right? And my initiative is I ain't trying to save everybody. I ain't even trying to save every black
You
person in
can't
America.
save everybody,
So
bro.
what
You
would I
literally don't
feel
have the
about the
power to
continent?
save
Let me
everybody, bro.
finish.
What are
Let
you
me
talking
finish.
about? You just like
All
hearing
right,
yourself
you
talk.
can speak now, and when you're done, allow me
Okay,
to
thank
speak
you. Okay, be
uninterrupted.
quiet, bro. Be quiet. A black person having a good job in America, there's nothing for the 40 million black Americans here in totality. You have a good job. You don't own the company. You can get fired tomorrow. They can transfer your workforce to India like they doing with a lot of these
Yep.
companies, bro. You still probably got to go through ADP and request your vacation hours off, bro. So you're not a special Negro in America. We've been having millionaires here, and that's
For a
changed
long time.
nothing for our ethnic group. We need land, territory, a military, a currency,
Amen.
Facts.
nationhood, bruh. That's
Facts.
what we need, not people that work for white people and got good jobs.
Well
Cool,
said, brother.
cool.
But I'd rather him
So
had a
again,
good job
hold
and being
on. Can
able
I
to
respond
employ
to that,
some
please?
2, 3, 4, 5, 10, whatever, however many black folks. I'd rather him do that than be somebody that is not able to do that. So
Can I
I do give
respond,
you,
please,
I
brother?
give you kudos for that, brother, that you
I
can do that.
appreciate it. I
So
appreciate it.
let's keep that real, but at the same time,
So
knowing what
again,
the brother said is actually true too.
right in the conversation of Pan Africanism, right? Again, it's about helping your own wherever, right? Maybe on the continent, maybe in the diaspora, maybe right here domestically, right? I live by that, right? So I gave you the story of my black sales team and why we were at that dinner because we were killing it, right? The point I'm making to you is this: my future isn't as bleak as some of y'all try to make it, right? If you want to make my future bleak, right? Okay, I'll hear you. And then I'll look at that continent and I see such deep bleakness that I don't even need to criticize y'all, right? I've accepted a lot of criticism here, right? But my reality is this: Black Americans, and I'll land here, right? What gave birth to the FBA is that Black Americans were raised to be Pan-African. What we ended up finding out is Pan-Africanism benefited the children of Soweto more than it did the children of Baltimore, right? So now I'm focused on me and my own, and that's still Pan-African, right?
What do you
Well,
mean?
you just said you
No,
just
it's not, bro.
contradicted
All
yourself.
right, bro. Yeah, just land your plane,
You
bro, because I'm
contradicted
gonna go
yourself.
right
You
now,
said
bro.
that
Like,
you
It's
agreed.
terrible what he just said.
You
What he
you
just said was
agreed.
such
He
a
agreed that
mixed
a
up.
very small portion of us are Pan
Listen,
Africanists.
man.
Then you
Listen.
just said, Willie, that we were raised Pan. When you say we, right? See, your we's and I and me and us.
All over the
You
place.
need to get that together
I'm speaking
because.
for my community. Do
no,
you
you
But the
speak for
remember
majority of your
yourself,
community
bro.
wasn't Pan
Yo,
Africanist.
bro,
The
let me
majority of
ask you.
Harlemites were not
I
Pan
know you're an
Africanists.
American, right? Do you
I'm in New
remember?
York. I'm in New
So,
York now. I've been in New York for 10
so you
years.
from the town.
No,
You
I'm not from the
remember?
town, but I've been here enough and I know some history.
Got
And
you.
and
I got
and
you.
the majority of Harlem people were not Pan Africanists.
See, but that's how do you qualify that when the UNIA and everything about Garvey's movement was started in Harlem? How do
That
you
doesn't mean
qualify?
anything.
Wait,
1913,
thank
bro.
you. Thank you.
What are you
Doesn't mean
talking
anything
about,
started.
man?
What I'm saying is when you say most blacks, right, aren't Pan African, right? I'm from Harlem. I was raised by nothing but Pan Africans.
87% of us vote Democrat. Most of us are not Pan African, bro. Like, bro, stop trying to remix life on here, bro.
Willie, come
Really?
on, Willie.
Can I just say something? You see,
You already said something and I didn't get to
and
say
so
it.
have you. So have you,
Yeah, you
my
done said a
friend.
lot of
No, I didn't
nonsense,
get to
Willie.
say
I
that.
ain't gonna lie, bro.
Every
You
So
have been
time I
talking a
say
gang of
something, you
nonsense
trigger
all
y'all.
night.
why are you
Because I'm
objecting to
proud
me?
of who I am and where I am in life.
Good for
And
you.
it
Good for
triggered
you.
y'all.
No,
Right?
no,
No, it
no.
don't
Listen.
trigger me. Hey, bro, let me go right quick, bro. Look,
All right.
I'm from McGregor, bro. I've been seeing black success my whole fucking life. I know firsthand that changes nothing for our entire ethnic group, bro. We need resources, and the best way to control that is to have a nation of our own, bro. If you reject that, what you're saying by default is that we should be in control by whites, bro. That's what you're
Exactly.
saying.
He
Can
doesn't
I
even
come in
want his
now?
own state. He doesn't even
Guys,
want his own
No,
guys,
no,
can
state
I
that's
anymore.
come
not
in?
what I'm saying at
Guys,
all.
can I come in? Can I come in real quick?
Of
Go
The
course.
ahead,
thing is,
Jacob.
Of
thank you
course.
very much. The thing is,
Keep it short. Because I didn't
I'll
even
try
get to
my best.
speak.
I'll try my best to
All right.
to do that. Um, um, what we need is organization. I agree with Willie in many ways in terms of his own self determination, his drive to become economically free, to drive to move forward as an individual. I agree with these things. They're very important for an individual and a family. The thing is, as somebody said, the corruption that is in Africa is much worse than the FBA situation. The crimes that are committed African to African is much worse than anything that's going on in America, Black America. The thing is, if we are able to organize our minds on the ground, whereby the education and the emancipation of our people depicts that the material wealth in Africa goes through the Black Americans before it lands anywhere, that is a market. So it's not, if 1 million Black Americans came into Africa, that's all we need. We don't need more than that. It would allow us to have some kind of control over our own resources and where our resources go. Because we are a global entity right now, there are Africans in Asia, in Europe, in the Americas. If we organize the African continent to touch our African communities around the world, if we see ourselves as Africans, that is an organized gambit against what is befalling us with white supremacy. I'll land it there.
So
All
let's
right. So
say
cool,
a
right?
million
So
Africans
here's the
went to
problem,
Ghana.
right? Hold on, real
Let's
quick.
say a million
Real
Africans
quick,
went to
bro.
Ghana.
Can I get a moment?
Nah,
Right?
let Shy go, bro. We
Yeah,
good
Right,
on
we've
you,
been
good.
man.
hearing
I'll
all
wait
day
some
Okay,
long.
I'll
more.
be really quick. So let's say a million Africans go to Ghana, right? And I'm watching Ghana right now, man, and I'm not liking the fact that some French troops just went in there to supposedly train the
Bro,
military
don't
to.
worry about that,
Uh,
bro. Come on, man.
No,
well, I'm
leave
just
him.
saying that
You
I'm
see?
not
Let him.
liking
Come on,
if
there's
we
only six
do
of us
go.
here. Well, let's have a bit of decorum if we can,
So
I'm
this
please.
is
just
why
saying
I'm
that.
asking. I've been cut off
Go
several
ahead,
times.
Willie. Go ahead,
Can
Willie.
I make a point?
Go ahead.
No,
Right?
Willie, man, you're always
So
crying. Stop crying.
no, I'm not crying, bro.
You are,
I'm
man.
trying to be humble, right? What you don't understand is I don't need you. I don't
We
need
heard you
anyone,
the first
right?
time,
Yeah,
bro.
but you said that already. You're
Now he's
reiterating.
crying.
You're
Now he's
reiterating
crying.
yourself, Willie. You're
Look, bro,
Now
just
he's
say
reiterating.
it.
crying.
Just go ahead and say what
He
you want to
said
say.
I
You
was
want to say
crying, bro.
Nigerian shit in the street? Cool. That don't make African Americans powerful, bro. No instability in Africa gives us power. So you dunking on them means nothing, bro. So just say what you want to say, bro. You want to talk about how fucked up their countries is? That still don't make us
No, he
powerful.
wants to
So
talk about
again,
how
my
he
brother,
doesn't need
again,
Africans or
my brother,
Africans or something. I don't know. He said that
again, my
already, though.
brother, I've been trying to avoid saying what you just said that we all know, right? I've been trying to avoid saying that. I want to
Cool.
be
They
clear
shit in
on
the
one
street. They
thing.
got
I
banditry
want to be
problems.
clear
They
on
got
one thing.
instability. They got food problems. We still don't have a nation of our own and control any resources in America.
I don't need
So
a
what?
nation of my own.
No, you don't.
I don't.
You.
Right.
We
You
talking
keep
about
talking about
African
you.
Americans.
And
We're
my
This
not
is
black
talking
not
about
Calm
about
down,
you.
calm
Willie.
down. Come on,
The
one at a
same
time,
way the
But
please.
Jews, right? The small
if a
hats.
bunch of Willies got
The
together and
same
did
way
some
the small
organizing,
hats in America don't need to control a
Jews
nation,
have a
right?
nation. What
The
are you
same
talking
way
about,
the
genius?
Asians,
The
right,
state of
in
Israel
America.
exists, bruh. It's no
right,
state of
You're
African
not hearing what
America.
I'm
right.
saying.
That's a good point.
You're not hearing what I'm saying,
No,
right?
you're not realizing the stupidity in your statements. That's what's happening.
I haven't been allowed to make a statement, brother.
What are you
No,
talking about?
we've
So
You just
heard
before
spoke
you
But
call
you
me
everything
started
you
off by
said.
stupid,
You
saying
just
Willie,
said
man,
Jews
Willie,
don't
they
need a
Willie.
lied,
nation
did this,
when
or did
Jews
that.
have a nation, bruh.
Bro, it's not. It's what? How many ways can we say
you
it?
know
How
my
many ways can
dream?
you say it? How
You
many
want to
ways
know
can
what
you
my
say the
dream
same
is,
thing?
brother? You want to know what my dream is? My dream is to open a MAGA burgers, right? I want to sell
We
MAGA
don't give
burgers,
a fuck,
freedom
bro.
Okay,
fries,
MAGA
right?
burgers.
And and
Willie,
and
Are you
and
gonna open one in
Patriot.
Africa?
if we had about 100 of you doing exactly what
God
you're
damn, I
doing,
can't say
but you
nothing.
started out saying the same thing you've been
You've
saying.
been
If
saying for
if
this
we had
whole show that
100
you yapping.
Willies doing
I just
exactly what
shared
Willie
with
is
you
doing,
my
and they
MAGA
came
burger
together,
dream.
if it were 100 of
I had
you
never said
in
that.
your
You said
position,
I'm saying the same thing.
you started off saying the exact same thing you have been
I had
The
saying.
never
exact same
shared my
thing,
dream
bro.
of opening a MAGA burger,
We
right?
No,
don't we don't
man,
we don't
we
want to
don't
hear
want to
it.
hear no MAGA burger bullshit.
Right.
Willie, come
You
on.
gotta stop
And
working for the
so,
white
and
man
I
to
I
do
mean,
that.
it's
respect
like
that.
you're saying
And I
you're in a
respect
good
that, right?
position.
I respect that, right? So now I am going to just put my head down and focus on me and mine. You're not interested in my opinion. I get that.
Okay, so why even come up with a Pan African show if that was the case,
No,
bro?
we are interested in you have some good things to say, Willie. But it's just what you're saying now. We don't agree with it. Everything that you say, we
But
agree
I
with some of the
haven't
stuff you're
gotten it
saying.
off, bro.
You have gotten part of it off, but you're starting off
Jesus
saying the same
Christ, man.
exact thing. That's why we're like going, bro. What's new? What are you saying that's new?
Yo, bro,
What's new,
have I
man?
gotten the same time as Ogun a single
Go
time?
go ahead, Willie.
Bro,
Go ahead.
You
I
talk more than
I did two
anybody else
statements.
tonight, bro.
Yeah, you do.
I
You
did,
have
Literally.
been as
Okay.
usual. That's your
So I'll
thing,
go back on mute.
Yeah, that'll be
bro.
I,
good. That'll be
guys,
A
good.
guys,
hundred Willies
guys.
doing exactly what Willie's doing, organized, coming together at a conference of salesmen in whatever area you're in. It's 100 of y'all. It's 50, 100, 1,000 of y'all, all doing this business on this level, and you come together and say, look, we're all black folks doing businesses in different in different companies. Why don't we come together and do something? Let's start a whatever. That's called organizing. That's what Jagun's talking about, being organized. And then whatever, even if you decide you want to invest because you talk about investing in Africa, my investment in my interest investing in Africa is really education. That's my lane, is education and culture. So it's not even really in the private sector. It's more about dealing with education. Yours is the private sector.
Salute to you.
We need business. We need
We
businessmen.
need you
So,
too, my
but I'm
brother.
saying though, even on a small level, you coming together with your sales team saying, why don't we invest in something? It's in China, in the United States.
You know
Why
why
don't
that'll
we?
never happen?
Well, I'm saying it rhetorically. I'm not even asking you because you
Okay.
always have something to say and it's always usually decent. It's usually good, but I want you to listen this
I'm
time.
listening, brother.
Right. So at the end of the day, a large amount of us moving to Africa, as it's beginning to happen, is going to change the economics of whatever country we mostly move to if we all move to one country mainly. This is part of what's changing Ghana's economy is the influx of African Americans and other diasporans moving into Ghana. That's a good part of it. I won't say it's the major part, but certainly something's going on that's making their economy better, and it's part of it has to do with us. But I'm saying I want to be in a place where it's secure, where the leader is got some insight and willing to sacrifice. Because them brothers in the Sahel, man, they need help, man. We have got to we got to get serious. We got to nut up. We got to be like ready, because if we do not deal with the shit and the realness of it, and we this time period goes by and we just continue to be, moderate or, kind of middle of the road with it, because Ghana's kind of like that, it's going to be bad. And they're going to take these countries over, and we'll be back to zero. We'll be nothing.
I'll
Let
simply
me
say good
let me
luck.
come in, Willie. Let me
None
just
of it
come in real
affects me. I'll
good.
simply say
Willie,
good
let
luck.
me come in. Let me come in real quick and give you this scenario.
You ain't talking to FBA.
Thank
You
you.
talking to a black in power.
I thought you was muting up.
So
Thank you, guys.
just wish you good luck.
Thank you, guys. 20 years ago, I did a study, and the study was on the amount of black people that are in the UK. The amount of black people that are in the UK 20 years ago was 1.2 million blacks in a country that was 65 million at the time.
Mhm.
And that number was quite shocking to me. However,
2 million.
guys, come on. The spend power of that 1.2 million was 10 billion a year. And obviously, the scenario of how money moves around the black community. It was the worst of any community in the UK. So, because we were just spending our money outside. So, of 1.2 million people spending 10 billion, that actually means that every black person, man, woman, and child, could actually be a millionaire. Now, this gave us the understanding that let's create a black directory so that we know where our businesses are and we can spend money where we can among our businesses. It worked for a while and then it fell. And we were a black company who was doing this, UK Black Links. In that understanding, however, what it told me is that numbers that are organized works regardless. Dynas is a salesman, and he would understand it from a sales point of view. The
100%
organization,
brother. 100%.
yes, sir. The organization of 1 million black people from the diaspora entering back into Africa, not only would it push our culture, it would push our economy.
It's not
Now,
gonna happen, bro.
I'm not fair enough. I'm not talking about 1 million people going into one country. I'm talking about we only need about 50,000 people in
It's not
each.
gonna
That is
happen.
fair enough. Just let me land. 50,000 black people in each country, right? It's 20 countries. That would change the whole
I
complexion
know.
of the economy in that land.
I know.
And this gives us a way of organizing ourselves for development. Now, you might say it's not going to happen, and you may well be correct.
I know I'm correct.
I'm just putting it down as a diagram. You see, before you
I'm a
achieve,
Pan African telling you that.
wait.
You think the FBAs are gonna go over there?
Why are you doing this, Willie?
This is how
Why
you
are
deal
you?
with me, a Pan
No,
African.
no, you can stay where you are,
You
Willie.
think FBAs are gonna hold you down?
No, Willie.
FBAs. He's talking about it.
Willie,
want
you
you to
can
stay
stay.
here.
You can stay where you are. I'm speaking about. I'm speaking about a study on paper. You see, before you make moves, you have to organize the moves that you're going to make, and it has to work on paper at some level. You see, the way certain people think is so emotional. It's so away from a correct, organized, accurate demographic push to create something new. And it's almost like you see, black people are very creative, but somehow when it comes to organization, we don't do it, and we keep in my mind, when we speak about those who have been our leaders in our fall, the Garveyites, the Dr. Martin Luther King, the X's of this world, they have come and they have given their lives for our emancipation. But somehow we tear up all of their intellect and throw it into the dustbin instead of building upon it. And this is my issue. Why do we stop our own progress? Why? Answer that, Willie.
Yep.
Hey guys, hey, we gotta close out. Everyone, thanks so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe, protect our family down at the Mr.
Hey,
True.
guys, next
Hang about. Hang